My boyfriend's mother made him browse Tinder daily because she doesn't approve of me. Buckle up and prepare your teacups because we've only been dating for a week and my boyfriend's mom is already trying to sabotage things between us. By the way, this comes from Bellanote 1988, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I, 36 female, met Patrick, 31 male, through an online writing group, and we instantly clicked. While we're waiting to actually meet later this year to decide if we're going to make things official, we've been calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend. When did you meet? How long has it been?
Sometimes it feels like people are rushing things when they call it. Like, online relationships are weird because I know people who've had very successful online relationships, and I've had people who are just crashing.
Well, we'll see what this one is. And we do talk about marriage and kids, but it's the what if kind of talks. I did tell him that I'm the marrying kind, and he's open to the idea as well. The problem is his mom, Holly, 60s female. I haven't met Holly yet, although I'm open to the idea. The problem is that she already doesn't like me because she's convinced I'm trying to trap him in marriage, even though we're still figuring out things. She even spent 4 days fasting, either in protest or out of stress or both.
That's just too extra.
What? Who is this lady? Although I do feel sorry for her, Patrick did confront her about her behavior yesterday, being fed up with it. And she revealed that she had a bad experience with a man she dated years before she met Patrick's father, her husband, but she didn't reveal any details. Why is that relevant? Patrick and his dad were stunned that she never told anyone, although I can understand why she wouldn't feel comfortable sharing it. Well, just now, Patrick and I were talking, and he said that Holly made him promise to scroll through Tinder before her, for 45 minutes a day to ensure he's keeping his options open.
Why 45 minutes? Like, why not like an hour or 30
no,
minutes? Why not
it's
an even number?
It's 45 minutes.
This is calculated. She like optimal
she did
time,
the math.
swipes per matches.
Clicks per minute. I do have complete faith and trust in him, given how he's been treating me and how, despite a few hiccups and miscommunication, we've been able to work through things. And he's told me that he is the most excited to meet me and doesn't want to date anyone else. I really hope he doesn't have to go no contact with her, but I believe he would if Holly got worse. I do feel bummed though, because I was planning on sending him weekly letters and cards. I love sending and getting letters, and we're both afraid that she's going to get a hold of them and burn them.
This just keeps getting more insane.
I feel like they're not seeing how crazy she is.
This is literally pyromaniac. That's like literally like if it's through the mail. This is felony. We're talking about a felony here.
Felony. He's still living with them until his condo, which he's purchased and is being built, is ready. However, Patrick did tell me to keep writing the letters and that he'll pick them up when he visits me. He's holding his ground and will be coming to see me one way or another. And I'm standing by my man unless and until he gives me reason to otherwise. It's just going to be a bumpy road. And there is an update, but there is so much to unpack already. Do you have any thoughts? Because I have a lot.
There's being involved in your child's life, and then there's this.
Like, she's doing a hunger strike because her child has a girlfriend?
Hey, let's commit felonies. Let's commit arson.
She's like, I'm going to burn his... Also, it seems like this has probably already happened if he thinks that she'd burn the letters. Like, I feel like she's done that before.
It's gotten probably onto the point where her insane behavior has become normal.
Yeah, so he's like, she'll probably burn them. I don't know. Something crazy.
It's like, what if this is like, this is normal? What's like the worst thing she's done?
That's what I'm saying. She was like, OP was like, if Holly gets worse, he'll cut her off. She's already at worse. Mm-hmm. We're already in the bad place, man. We need to reel her back in ASAP. But there is an update, so we're going to dive right in. It hasn't been a day, and I already have some tea. First off, I'd like to thank everyone for their responses, both good and bad. I would also like to add a lot more context that I didn't add. I was on my iPhone, so that's why my initial post was so short. 1. Firstly, Patrick isn't even from the States. He's from Switzerland, which is ridiculously expensive to live in, so that's why he's still at home. He does contribute to bills and the like. However, he has purchased a condo. He sent me pictures of the floor plan, and they have his name on them, so I know that's the real thing. Holly and Carl, 60s male, Patrick's dad, have an our house, our rules, which is what she's using as leverage. He's playing the long game in essence. Number 2, we have a lot of discussions about all sorts of things. We talk about favorite movies, favorite games, favorite styles of music, favorite sports, philosophical discussions, and marriage, kids. We're not actively planning a wedding. They're the fun discussions that last maybe 5 minutes and then we move on to the next topic. Although there was an adorable moment where he told me that he said to his friends that he was hanging out with his fiance. But you guys aren't official? You guys have an interesting relationship because they're calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend, but they're not official.
There's a lot unsaid, I think, in this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just absorbing all like the weird quirks that are like now coming out. It's like, okay, so this was right. Like there's something that the parents are holding over.
Mm-hmm. When I clarified what that meant here in the States, he was embarrassed, but we had a good laugh about it. 3, Patrick and I had our first phone call a week or so after we started talking, and it lasted 6 hours. Dang. Well, there was a bit of a translation, English not being his first language, and I only know a little German problem. We just talked and talked and talked, not really aware of the time that so much that so much time had passed, until my friend asked me if I was coming to supper. The next week, we had a video date where we watched the sunset in Switzerland, so I actually got to see him, and he got to see me.
Okay, at least this is not like a 90-day fiancé scam.
That you never see him until he visits. Number 4, while we call each other boyfriend and girlfriend, we're going to get together this summer after he finishes getting certified for a new position at his job, and from there, decide if we're going to make it official. He's always wanted to come to the States, but wasn't able to find a good reason to come. I really hope it does work out because I like him and he likes me, but we're taking things very slow. Number 5, what do I see in Patrick? He's one of the few guys I've met who actively takes an interest in what I'm doing and what I like to do. He's also very selfless. A week or so after we met, I decided to ask him to help me pick out a bouquet for my mom's birthday. He said, I have a 3D printer, I'm going to make her a vase to put the flowers in, and he's going to mail it to me. When I asked him to tell me the shipping cost so I could reimburse him, he declined, saying it was his present to her and that my joy was worth it. I told him a little bit about my struggles with mental health issues, and he insisted on giving me his number so I can call him anytime. He was like, oh no, I've got to give you my number. I gave him mine so he knew the number, and he texted me to ensure he had the right number. He hasn't used it since, nor have I hounded him. When he learned that I might have to work a double, he set his alarm early. He's 7 hours ahead of me so he could catch me as I got off work because I wouldn't be able to talk to him at a regular time. Fortunately, someone else was able to cover for me, so I didn't have to do it, but it still moved me that he did it. I've also hung out on Discord with him and his friend as they gamed, and his friend treated me pretty well. Patrick told me afterward that his friend liked me. So with that all out of the way, on to the update.
Oh, that was just the FAQ.
That was just just like, here's where life is.
That's like the preamble to the update.
Yeah, we were just learning how it started. After reading your responses, Patrick and I had a very long talk once he got off work. I told him that I didn't feel comfortable with him not telling his mom off, and I was already having doubts about us. That's when he revealed that Holly also went a step further and created a Tinder account for Patrick behind his back.
This mom is just doing the most, and not in the good way.
Not in a good way at all. Carl and Patrick both told Holly to knock it off and leave us alone. Now here's where it gets really crazy. Holly decided to go through Tinder to find dates for him. Apparently she didn't realize that Tinder is a hookup app. According to Patrick, she isn't the best at computer or social media, and shouted, "This app is just for spicy sleep." I was feeling secondhand embarrassment for her. Patrick is still going to come here to the States this summer, and from there we'll make a decision on if we're going to make things official. But he has my back as much as I have his. I have no reason to doubt him, and if he breaks my trust, I'm done, and he knows that. He changed all of his passports to everything he can think of and is hiding his important paperwork. As soon as the condo is ready, he'll be moving in, and she won't be getting a spare key, and the landlord will be made aware that Holly isn't welcome. We just have to hold on until then. I did share how sad I was that I wouldn't be able to send him letters and that he was going to have to wait to pick them all up from me. I've been writing to him every week. And we came up with a solution with the help of one of his friends who he met through work and also thinks Holly is crazy. But you know what else is crazy? The fact that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search up OK Storytime.
That's crazy in the good way.
I know. That's crazy in the really, really good way. But there is a little bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts?
having the mom create the account
and then go on it actively
is very unexpected.
Yeah, and a little very icky, that she's supposed
toxic.
to be flirting.
It's very toxic.
Yeah, because I feel like she said after finding out, oh my god, this app is for spicy sleep. I feel like she must have been flirting with some of these women on Tinder.
That brings up the issue of if they eventually did meet up.
Yeah.
How would that conversation be? It's like, oh, it wasn't actually me.
It wasn't me.
It was my
mother the whole time.
I don't know anything we talked about because we didn't talk.
It wasn't me. Yeah. But there's a little bit more. I'll send my letters to this friend, and then he'll give Patrick the letters and cards at work. Patrick had a lockbox that only he is the key to and will keep them there. So we're still hanging out and talking, but we're lying low for the time being. We're still talking by phone every weekend when Patrick takes their dog for a very long hike. You may not be reassured about our relationship, but I'm choosing to be cautiously optimistic. Thanks for reading, and I'll be sure to keep everyone updated. And that is the end of the story. And I now understand what Max Andre was asking. Why resort to a letter? It was just more romantic because they've been calling and Discord messaging and everything. But OP
she
was
said
like,
it was
I
her
like
thing.
writing letters. Yeah,
it's like there's a lot of people I know who prefer like that tactile. It shows you're putting effort into it. And it's like it's a special thing because you don't often get mail these days that's not like bills or spam or coupons that you never use or forget to use until they're expired.
Letter writing it shouldn't be a dying art form. Let's get it back up.
My girlfriend is still friends with past hookups, and it's bothering me.
You can still talk, bro.
I feel like interpretive dance is silent, all right? That's my interpretation.
I, 23 male, and my girlfriend, 22 female, have been together for about a year. We met on Tinder, and we went on a date soon after that. Pretty much from the moment we saw each other, we knew we were right for each other. In fact, our first date ended up being 12 hours long because we just didn't want to leave each other. By the way, this comes from Emergency Citron 83 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So we went on a few more dates and then became exclusive very quickly, and our relationship since has been incredible. We both absolutely see a future with each other and are planning on staying together as much as humanly possible. Now, I know that my girlfriend had a major hoe phase in the approximately 6 months before we met. We haven't gone in depth, I don't want to know, but we have discussed and I've heard mutterings from friends too. I think she hooked up with 6 or 7 pretty much random men during that time.
What?
Ooh. In 6 months.
That's one a month.
No
that's not
judgment.
interpretive dance. You're
It's
just
the
dancing.
running man because that's what she's doing. She's running through those men.
I've done similar things too. I have no reason to ever think that she ever hasn't been faithful to me or hidden it from me or anyone else. She was posting me on Instagram after like a month together. She actually deleted her Snapchat when we started dating, and I know for a fact she doesn't have dating apps anymore. We agreed to just not talk about our spicy past now that we're together. About 2 months ago, she told me that a guy she met on vacation last summer was moving into our city. She had asked her if she wanted to show him around. She said yes. We both went and gave him a tour and got dinner. He was honestly a really nice guy and a smart and interesting too. I was a bit surprised that she'd met a 28-year-old professionally randomly on a vacation, but whatever. Since then, she had been getting lunch or drinks or dinner maybe once a week with him when I'm busy, and then go another day of the week. We'll usually go on a double date with him and one of the many women he's involved with.
Why does it sound like your girlfriend's dating this guy? Why does it sound like that? You're like, I don't know how my girlfriend met this hot, successful 28-year-old professional on a vacation and is now dating him.
I was totally fine with that and happy to have more friends, but recently I was hanging out with my girlfriend and her friend group, and one of her friends made a joke about the guy being very well nude.
That word is endowed. Endued.
I kind of shrugged it off, but I was curious and later asked my girlfriend if she had slept with her friend. She laughed and said no. She actually slept with him when she was on vacation after they met on a dating app. I was kind of floored that she hadn't told me that that's how they met. But she said that I hadn't asked, and that's why we agreed not to discuss our former conquests. She told me that, in fact, it was sleeping with him that had made her decide to settle down. Was it that bad or was it that good?
And she's like, that's the best I'll ever have. I'll just settle down. I'll settle down.
I'm done now. Because he's apparently a very promiscuous man. She realized that for her, that kind of promiscuity was cheapening all intimacy. She also told me that after she realized how promiscuous he was, she was revolted by him and wanted to be in a committed relationship, but that she still did like him as a person. I asked her if they'd ever been in contact at all before he moved into our city, and she said that occasionally they liked each other's Instagram stories, but that they hadn't actually messaged each other than that. But that's still a body. If you like someone's Instagram,
You might as well
story?
buy them a wedding ring.
facts.
What are
Yeah.
you doing
Have
liking
you not-
people's Instagram stories that you're not
Facts.
getting married to?
That's literally making out with me.
She could tell that for some reason finding this out upset me, and she told me that I could read their messages if I wanted, and that she would also stop hanging out with him one-on-one if it bothered me. I completely trust her though, so I said no to both. I would say no to hanging out one-on-one once I learned that information. He agrees with me.
I hope you all interpreted exactly what that meant.
I then asked her if she made any of her other friends in the same way. She told me she hooked up with 2 other people she's friends with now. One is one of the girls in her friend group, which I never suspected. Apparently, the other guy told my girlfriend that they spicy sleep together, that she would have spicy sleep with a woman. So when she got back from vacay, she did. My girlfriend said that she didn't like it and it wasn't for her, but the girl was very cool and they had a lot in common, so they stay friends. She had a similar story with one of her male friends. Basically, they met on a dating app, got some spicy sleep, but realized that they were not compatible at all as romantic partners. I don't know why finding this out upset me so much. I trust my girlfriend entirely and know she would never cheat on me, and she offered to let me look at her messages with any of the 3 to never spend time with them alone again. She also apologized for upsetting me and said that if she'd known I care, she would have told me before. I really don't know what to do, as it's really bothering me, but at the same time, I really feel like she hasn't done anything wrong. I realized that I absolutely needed to speak with her about it. I also realized that there was a lot more about the situation that bothered me than I had initially thought, including everyone knowing they had spicy sleep together except for me. Her friend joked about it in front of me, and my girlfriend being seemingly dedicated to this man, even when he had first arrived to our city, even though they had literally just spicy sleeped twice. I decided to have a chill and open conversation with my girlfriend and express that the situation was bothering me, even though I knew she hadn't done anything wrong. We started talking, and she basically reiterated everything that she had said before. And she also said that in the future, she would tell me if we met anyone she's been involved with. She apologized for upsetting me and said that she would have told me if she thought it would bother me. So then I told her that I was honestly hurt that her friends all knew and joked about it, even with me there, and it seemed disrespectful to me. At this, she was much less apologetic and said that she shares everything with her friends and that she couldn't control what they said, which wasn't an answer I really liked. She seemed to be irritated and a little mocking of me at this point, but I kept going and expressed that I was also uncomfortable with how she was so eager to see him when he first arrived, even though he hadn't been just a 2-night stand for her. To that, she was very honest, but what she said hurt me a lot. She said that he had been a special experience for her.
No, interpret it.
That's my interpretation.
as he'd been the kindest and most respectful man she'll ever been involved with up until that point. Up until that point, everybody. Up until that point.
That's somehow even worse.
But she settled for OP. Though.
I don't like any of this.
And she's like, he was a special experience. It's already like, and then it's like, because he was so kind and perfect. It's like,
More so that he was to her such a great man that he couldn't be in a committed relationship with any woman he chose. But he refused to do so for some reason she couldn't understand. Obviously, that one hurt a lot though, as I was glad that at least it was clear she was being honest. She then said that even though she liked him a lot and felt that they had a special experience together, she loved me and wanted to be with me, but didn't do much to salvage the wound. Her comments, as well as the comments on my original post, had made me a bit paranoid about her cheating, though I was pretty sure she wouldn't do that. So I asked her to read their messages, which she provided me without hesitation. Everything was completely kosher. They would just send each other the occasional Instagram reel or post with some place they wanted to go, and then they'd make plans on when. They also talked about books and philosophy a lot. I'm not very into either, though, and these were long and intense conversations, but in fairness, none of it was dissimilar from when my girlfriend has shown me messages with her other friends who have always been platonic. There was nothing that even suggested physical cheating. So then I kept reading because I wanted to see what he'd said to her when he arrived in our city. I decided to go all the way back to when they first met, which my girlfriend said I was free to do even though it was before we were dating.
did you really break your hand? And then she's like, yeah, I did. And then you go, all right, well, I'm going to go into the garage with a hammer and see what that's like.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. You can just know.
Initially, it wasn't much. Just them having a short convo and making plans to go out, and then making plans again to hook up. Then nothing after her vacation ended. Until about 3 months later, after she'd come back from vacation and started getting with other guys. She sent him a long and heartfelt message that I felt sick reading as soon as I started it, but which she told me to finish. Basically, she implied that she'd been essayed recently. She'd used the words questionably consensual, and she was writing to thank him for their experience together and the respect he'd shown her. She said that she'd never been with a man who clearly liked and respected her as much as he did. And she thanked him for not only not taking advantage of her when she was in a vulnerable position, but also showing much care for her, that everything they did was beyond consensual. She said she'd never had a spicy sleep experience like him, but hoped she would again. And then she ended it with a joke about how he was incredible in bed. Okay, so she thanked him for being a gentleman and not only seeing her for spicy sleep, and then said, you're really great at spicy sleep. To that, he replied with an equally heartfelt message about how she and every woman deserved to be treated well, and then he said that he felt from just meeting her twice that she was a special woman, and he hoped that they would meet again. After that, they kept in loose contact, but just swiping up on the occasional Instagram story with a comment or question, and never anything further than that. When we started dating and she posted a picture with me, he swiped up and asked if we were dating. She said yes. He said something along the lines of me being cute and that he hoped she was happy. They basically didn't speak until he moved into our city and messaged her. He made it clear in his message that he knew she had a boyfriend and that he understood if I wasn't comfortable with them meeting up, but that he did like her in a platonic way, as well as if she was interested in showing him around. This really upset me, as I realized that even he thought I should have been informed, and he wouldn't have hung out with her if I'd said no. But she didn't even give me the opportunity to decide or express my feelings on the issue. I asked her why she didn't tell me, even though it was clear she should have. And she basically broke it down and admitted that she really liked him and wanted to see him even as a friend, and that she thought I probably would have been uncomfortable with it, even though she would have never cheated. Whoa, so she still had feelings for the guy.
But platonically.
Well, she still liked him.
Platonically.
We don't know that.
Which is what anyone would say. Isn't that right? This is the man that let her realize, oh my God, there's good men out. Like, men aren't trash. Like, this man took such good care of me and was so great. Maybe I can find my true love.
Yeah.
And then she just like found OP, and now she's like, ooh, but that guy back in town, oh my God. What if he's the one?
She said that's why she brought me on the tour, so that we would all know that she would never be involved with him physically while we were together. This really broke me, as it seemed clear that between me and him, she would always choose him. Even without the physical aspect, it seemed like she greatly preferred him to me as a person, and I know from her messages and her friends' jokes that the physical aspect was better with him too. But you know what's also better with us is that we keep reading stories every day of the week on our podcast, so you can join us on Spotify, Apple, or what other podcast platforms you're on to get more stories like this. Join us there.
All you got to do is look up OK Story Time.
That's the can of worms he opened up. I was like, this guy's in a whole world of hurt right now if he's gonna do this. And what did he expect? Like, just her talking about him? Like, oh, I can't wait for my future boyfriend that's gonna be so mid.
I asked her why she wouldn't just be with him then, and she said that he wasn't looking to settle down, and she was, so there wouldn't have been any point in breaking up with me. Who did she like and had a good relationship just for a chance with me? She said that being friends with him was enough for her. I then asked her pretty much point blank what she felt for him, and she admitted that she was in love with him.
No!
Wow.
Break up. And she had grown more fond of him since he'd come into our city, and they had gotten to know each other more.
Yeah, I guarantee you she started feeling butterflies when this guy texted her like, I'm going to be in town.
I think she'd realized at this point that we're going to break up, and so that she might as well be completely honest. And that's the end. They broke up. They had to have broken up.
Hey, well,
holy cow!
God! Whoa!
I forbade my fiance to go to dinner with her boss. She got furious.
That was her.
I'm basically at the point of breaking off my relationship with my fiance. Whoa. Because I'm so frustrated by this whole thing.
Damn.
I guess the question is among my last salvos to see if I'm being an a-hole and unreasonable, or if the problem is on her end. By the way, this comes from Emma the A-hole John, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, been with fiance for several years now. She recently graduated and got an amazing HR job with a pretty high profile, we get your DUI charges dropped type law firm. The guy who started the firm is known across as being an ambulance shyster, and scammer because, very frankly, he's trying to portray that in his commercials. I've met him a couple of times, and in person, he's a little better, but I still feel kind of like I need a shower. So, right after New Year's, wife came home and announced that Lawyer Dude is taking the whole staff out to celebrate on January 20th because it was the firm's biggest years ever.
Ooh.
This is the timeline as near as I can remember. January 5th, she tells me to keep January 20th open because SOs are invited. Cool, I can do that. January 8th, sorry, she was mistaken. It's just a work party. She tells me it's cool if I make other plans that night, no problem. January 13th, she lets it slip. It's not really a party for the whole office, just for the people boss think we're part of the success. I'm starting to get a little WTF-y here. January 14th, miraculously, all the people going to dinner with the boss are under the age of 30 and female. Now alarm bells are really going off. January 18th, the list is down to 2 people, my wife and another new attorney. So if I'm hearing this correctly, the 2 people mainly responsible for this 20-year-old company's biggest year ever are both recent college grads, both female and both around 25. Fiance says, aren't you proud of me? Today, the big day, the boss texts her at like 11 a.m. and says, hey, since this is supposed to be a celebration, don't drive. I'll send a car service for you. Fiance still doesn't smell anything fishy, so I ask her, just for my own edification, to ask what he says if she tells him That's a great offer, but my fiance knows the restaurant and he can drive me. Boss replies back in seconds. Sorry, I had to change restaurants at the last minute. I'll send the car. My fiance looks at me, apparently without the screeching submarine klaxon and Klieg lights that are going off in my head, and says, see, it's all cool. I'll just take the car service. I'm freaking the F out. I told her that she can't go. She called me a controlling a-hole. I told her that the whole thing has been shady as F, and I relayed out the timeline I just posted above, using my texts and emails from her as evidence. She said that's me hoarding evidence, like this is an example of how I'm a controlling a-hole, and she wants to go to dinner tomorrow more than ever. I told her I might be an a-hole, but I'm not stupid. She told me over and over again he's married, he can't do anything that would affect his marriage, so you're being the stupid one. That leads me to believe that even she understands the larger implications that are at play here. She locked herself in our bedroom and hasn't come out for at least an hour.
She's like, he's married.
Exactly. I think that, I mean, like, she's definitely naive. Like, that's a fault, but like,
Damn.
I think she might just be naive.
That's so naive, though.
I know.
To be
I
like,
agree.
well, he's married and no one's ever cheated on their spouse ever.
I agree. I don't know what to do. I can't beat the door down or yell at her. And I think if this is one of those situations where the shoe is on the other foot, she'd be freaking the F out, and I see her reaction and just call it off. Am I the a-hole? And there is an edit. It's 5:30 here. The car service picked her up at 5:15. I guess it's up to fate now whether I'm controlling a-hole or if she just didn't see whatever was coming. And edit 2, she just got home and only said, I don't want to effing talk about it. She's back talking to who I assume is her sister. I'm defying my every desire to eavesdrop, so I don't know what happened. It's only 8:45, so I don't think anything super crazy happened. I'm just glad she's home. If it's appropriate, I'll update again when I know more.
Well, it looks like she figured it out.
But do you think that she went into it knowing? Does it seem like you?
No, I think she did go into it being like, he just won't accept that I'm just like the best worker ever, and that I'm so cool, and my boss wants to give me $1 million because I'm just cool.
Yeah, I think that she was so defensive and being naive. And then she went there and probably he hit on her and she was like,
Sometimes bosses are like that, but no, I don't in this case.
Sometimes, yeah, but
yeah, like there's very rare like the bosses are like really cool and they do like I'll like it's gonna be like a team dinner or like it's a raise, or like you know what, happy birthday or happy holiday, something like that.
I honestly think that if OP had, like, I'm not blaming it on OP, but I do think that if he had approached the conversation with her differently, of like less emphasizing that she was being stupid, and again, it's not his fault because like she was being. Really
I don't know
naive.
of any level of to be naive enough to be like he's married. There's nothing that could happen because he's married.
Absolutely, but it is
absurd. That's crazy.
But
that's
also
delusion.
just, like,
That's not
yes.
even naivety. That's you're deluded.
I think it would have probably been a more effective conversation if he had been like, let's focus on your safety rather than you're stupid. He's trying to hook up with you. Another edit. This really doesn't pertain to Am I the A-hole anymore. Just people asking for an update. She gets to dinner and it's just her, a coworker, and her boss in a private dining room at a hotel. The boss straight up says he's banging another girl and wants my fiance to join them.
Oh, congratulations. You've earned the quarterly reward.
Also, I feel so sad for this woman.
No, it sucks.
I feel so like this literally like hurts my heart. He has an understanding with his wife and says he can do amazing things for my fiance. She's pissed she didn't see this coming, but she's still mad at me for being controlling. She's not happy at all and is talking about breaking up. Sucks all around, but I'm relieved she's safe. Just giving her some space for a while. And there is an update.
If she breaks up for you for this, that's the most ridiculous thing I've
I
ever
think
heard
that
in my
this
life.
was all just like the conversation was not had in an effective way. Update. Fair enough. She didn't speak to me all day Monday, and the last words I heard from her were Sunday night after she got home. She slammed the door to our bedroom saying, "You're still a controlling a-hole and we're breaking up." Wow. Her nuclear bomb is always saying we're breaking up whenever she doesn't have the upper hand in an argument, so I didn't make much of it.
Leave this relationship, my guy.
That's unhealthy.
Get out of there. Get out.
In reality, I was just relieved that she was home and apparently nothing bad happened at the dinner. So like I said, Monday, she didn't say a word to me. I was only able to get into our bedroom to grab some clothes, and I couched it again Monday night. Whatever, she was pissed. She was embarrassed that she didn't see it coming, and she was angry at me. I figured I'd give her some space, so I did. Tuesday morning, I noticed she was getting ready for work. I couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer and incredulously asked if she was really going back to that effing job. She said, why wouldn't I? I told her because the effing owner of the company had spent a month manipulating her into a threesome with this other little side piece. She said I was an effing idiot. I was flabbergasted.
Is this law? Because that makes sense. Your girlfriend is a cutthroat, and she will stop at nothing to attain more levels of power and prestige. She's a lawyer. If anything, she's probably more mad that you're together so that she couldn't have like manipulated that opportunity in her favor somehow.
I don't agree with that.
I mean,
I'm
not condoning the boss's actions. I'm just saying I didn't realize this whole time. I saw a comment that said something about lawyers.
I think that
the fact that she's a lawyer is like a lot of that makes sense to me. Just because of lawyers, not because she's a woman or a man or anything.
I think that like separate from this, I think they should break up because clearly the communication is just so like not there. And her being like, oh, I'm breaking up, and OP being like, oh, yeah, she always says that. That's messed up. As she stomped around the house, putting on her shoes and makeup, I told her that if she showed up to the office today and didn't quit or follow up with the state bar, he would know that she was okay with what happened, at least on the surface. Even if she didn't have spicy sleep with him, he now knew that she had a really high tolerance for his BS, and he was going to keep working at her. I also reminded her that she had an MBA with a focus in HR, and it shouldn't take an effing redneck auto mechanic to tell her this crap. I own a foreign specialty auto repair facility with my uncle. Her last words to me were, yes, effing a-hole, I am the professional, you aren't, and she slammed the door. So Tuesday, I had no idea what I was going to do. I knew in my heart I needed to end the relationship. Her situation with her boss, notwithstanding, her methods of fighting, name-calling, silent treatment were just not acceptable. But I still wasn't sure. From her standpoint, a lot of women don't leave those situations or even, I mean, that was the whole Me Too movement. Like a lot of women will not talk about the situations that happen with people in positions of power because they don't want to get fired. They don't want to get blacklisted from things.
Well, it's like it's really easy to have a moral stance when there's like no actual stakes for you, but it's like in this case, it's like
there are
she's going to lose her job, she's going to lose her reputation, she's going to lose her. Yeah, it's like
I mean, people could go around and say, "Oh, well, she was just a pretty face. He just wanted to F her." But on the other side of the relationship, I completely agree. She's bad at communicating. She's blaming OP for all of this thing, the name calling, the telling him that they're going to break up. Relationship is clearly not working
at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that those are kind of separate.
Anytime you have a case where your partner is like using, we're going to just break up, like in an argument, because like that's, listen to them. Listen to them and break up with them.
Yeah, I agree. She got home Tuesday and was clearly rattled by something. She was still silent, but it was a sad silent, not an angry silent, if that makes sense. She absolutely would not tell me what was wrong, but she didn't lock herself in the room this time. She sat almost catatonic on the couch watching Big Bang Theory, which she hates. My assumption, she effed him, her, or both. She gave in to him. I have no proof of this, but after all the BS, after the quick change in her behavior, it's the only thing I can think happened. In my head and heart, we are broken up. It's not just a matter of separating our crap, figuring out what to do about the lease on our apartment, canceling the small amount of wedding planning we've done, and telling her. She may be feeling the same way and be done with me too, which honestly may make this easier for everyone.
Brother, she said that she was done with you.
Yeah, she said she was breaking up with you. My heart goes out to her because I do care about her, and if she did have spicy sleep with her boss under his BS pretense, I imagine she feels like crap. But I tried to warn her. I saw it coming from a mile away. No, I didn't use the correct words in trying to warn her, and I take no pleasure in being right, but I did try. An edit. She's home about 2.5 hours early. She said she wants to take a shower and talk after she's done. I really don't want to do another update, but I will. Obviously, this is so much past whether I'm an a-hole or not, and just into keeping people who wanted to know informed. For some people, I'm a victim. For others, I'm a victimizer. I asked for people's opinions, so I will try very hard to keep both in mind going forward. And serious thank you for your input. So, update. She got home at 3:30. She was still very pissy and told me not to ask her any questions until she got out of the shower and said she wanted to talk then. She usually gets home at 6 p.m. on the dot, so I knew something was up. I said that was fine, but was literally on pins and needles until she came back to our computer room where I was working. Around 4:15, she comes out with a towel wrapped around her head and just one around her waist. In my head, I figured if she was really breaking up with me, she wouldn't let me see her unclothed. It wasn't a spicy-related gesture by any stretch, but it also showed that she wasn't covering up around me. I took that as a good sign because I wasn't sure about breaking up with her. As nutty as I made her deservedly sound, she has never had compunctions about apologizing when she's wrong. She said she wanted to say she was very sorry for all the things she had said to me starting on Sunday. She was sorry for throwing her shoe at me. Oh, yikes. For the silent treatment and for doubting my judgment. I told her that I appreciated it. She told me that she quit yesterday. I told her that I very much agreed with that. She explained that yesterday she went into the office and the boss and owner was waiting for her in her office. I just also want to say, I feel like OP did really jump to conclusions about her screwing her boss.
It was probably more just now I really do have to reanalyze like what I actually even want out of this job and what I want out of this life.
Yeah, I felt like
career,
that was a pretty unfair jump, and it's clearly.
But it's, again, just another great indicator that this
they're not working.
relationship's
Yeah.
not working, and y'all
Clearly
need
not.
to split.
The law firm is an old converted historic house near downtown. Most of the staff work in what used to be the main house, but my fiance's office was literally the outdoor shed garage. It's a very nice and comfortable conversion, but it's still separated from the main house. So him sitting in her office means he had to go out into the backyard, find a key he doesn't usually have, unlock her space, and wait for her on the first day back from a holiday. He told her he wanted to make sure there were no misunderstandings from the night prior, and to ensure that all the doors weren't shut or some such nonsense. She told him that she was deeply upset by his proposal and didn't know what she was going to do. I guess he told her that her value in the company could either go up or down depending on how she decided to proceed.
Yeah, and then that walking out after that, that's the right move. You can't. Now you're a hostage after that point. Like,
she said that she walked out on the spot and didn't go back to work. She spent the rest of the day with her sister trying to figure out what she was going to do. That was yesterday, and I guess she still doesn't know. She spent all day today looking for other jobs and sitting in the employment office of her MBA program talking with her advisor. I asked her why she didn't just tell me any of this yesterday and why she screamed at me. She said she was sorry again, but she was a little shell-shocked that she faced serious spicy-related harassment in her first job out of the gate, and honestly didn't even know what she wanted to say to me. I told her that the silent treatment really hurt and allowed my imagination to run wild. I didn't tell her what I said here, though. She apologized again, saying the way she acted throughout the entire event wasn't fair. I told her that I really do love her, but I hadn't slept in 2 nights. I was exhausted, hurt, and didn't know what to do. So I was going to stay at my uncle's house for at least a few nights to sleep, if nothing else. She said that was fine, and that she'd wait as long as I wanted her to. I told her that I think we need counseling so we can learn how to talk to each other better. She agreed. So after that, I packed up a bag and am now at my uncle's house. She did give me a bare-chested hug and a kiss on my cheek on my way out the door, which was pretty nice. But right now, I need some sleep. What I do know, I want to stay with her. I need to never use words like, you can't go ever again. I do agree with that. I feel like you could have, again, I think it was phrasing too, in part. Again, she did not react well, but I think also you can't be like, you can't do that. I think it's, I worry that this will happen if you go there. I really do love her. We are fine for money without her working. I am co-owner of an auto repair business with my uncle, and we have had a great few years. What I don't know, and didn't ask yet at least, what is she going to do about her boss? How this affects her future employment? That she will realize we are fine without her working and that she can take her time finding a good job with a good boss. But you know what is always good? Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. I don't know if their relationship will work, but I do think that counseling is a necessity regardless.
It's just not working out, man.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
Yeah.
It's just not working out.
I'm sure there are a million other things I'm forgetting or questions I'm not answering. I think the mods are sick on this thread. In comments, comment 1, her nuclear bomb is always saying we're breaking up whenever she doesn't have the upper hand in an argument. Not really here to make judgments, but this is a really huge red flag that your wife is manipulative. And actually, it's fiance. She's threatening you to throw away years of relationship over an argument and tries to guilt trip you into backing off. This can't be healthy. Agreed. My ex did something similar and broke up with me over one single argument, which makes me realize how damaging and toxic her behavior was. Edit, I read the update again, and holy crap, it gets worse. I'm a professional and you aren't. You're an effing idiot. Your wife is egotistical, way in her head, and is definitely on a power trip. This wife of yours doesn't care what you think and is openly attacking and disrespecting not only you, but also your uncle and the business that you have. To call you not a professional is laughable. You will become a doormat and let her walk all over you if you don't do something about it. You are definitely not the a-hole. You may be blunt, but your argument is well-founded. Comment 2. You're the a-hole. Before, everyone sucks here, absolutely. But now you don't know that she slept with him. He could have hurt her. Or any number of things could have happened, and just assuming she slept with him makes you the a-hole in a big way. Also demanding she not go back to her job, that's quite a butt move too. Just quitting a job without notice can have major consequences, and if that guy is willing to sleep with his subordinates in that manner, you better believe he's capable and probably willing to ruin their lives if they try to say anything. I doubt this is the first time he's done this. Instead of demanding she quit, maybe you should have talked to her and asked her if she felt safe, made a plan if he tried to retaliate. I know she was mad at you, rightfully so, but think how it felt to be her. Thinking she was getting rewarded for a job well done and then getting harassed because that is exactly what that dinner was.
But I feel like that comment ignores her entire personality and the way that
I
she's
agree.
been interacting with OP.
I think that there's truth in many elements of these comments. But I think that to say one way or the other that OP is an a-hole or she's an a-hole is to disregard the entirety of the story.
My hypothesis would be like if he does go to her and is like, I'm looking out for, I'm caring for you, I'm doing this, she'd be like, ew, gross, you're a weak man, or like, and also stop trying to control me, I'm fine.
Which
like,
is that, yeah, that's a problem.
Probably how she would have been.
OP says, I never once demanded that she quit. I said I was incredulous that she was going back to a job where the owner of the company pulled a month-long con on her that resulted in him saying openly that he wanted to F her. She is supposed to be the HR professional that people can come talk to when something like this happens. Now, by tacitly going along with it and not even calling him out, her professional integrity is forever compromised as long as she stays at this law firm. She can't be trusted. She can't confront him. She can't be the ethical voice of reason against someone we know is a sleazebag. He forever has dirt on her. Even with that, I didn't demand she quit her job. And that is the end of that story. I think that was just a complicated story all around, but at the end of the day, I just don't know if you guys are right for each other.
No, clearly not. Yeah, you should be with a girl who likes cars,
What?
not a lawyer. Get with a
cars?
Yeah, get with a mechanic chick. Well, that's the lesson here: is don't be a lawyer.
My ex demands I pay child support, but her kid isn't mine.
Yeah, I mean, not really how that works usually.
Then you should just say no. Some years ago, I dated a girl. The relationship was bad. She was very controlling and abusive. It ended up really badly, and we broke up. By the way, this comes from a confused person, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, the thing is, a couple of months ago after getting my job, my ex contacted me. She first asked me to talk. I believe that she may want to reconnect or something, but she showed up with a 5-year-old child, claiming he was my son.
You've activated my trap card.
What?
5-year-old child.
I don't know what that means.
It means that she sprung a trap. The child.
Child trap. And demanding child support. I didn't believe her, but the child's age matched the time since we cut contact. I got advice from a lawyer, a friend of mine, to try to solve this out of court. I offered to take responsibility, pay all the costs, and be an active part of the kid's life. Only after taking a DNA test. Good on you.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll do it. If you've got proof.
Sounds about right.
Everyone was okay with this, except for my ex. She acted offended and demanded to just give her the money she deserved. She used all the excuses she could, even contacted my family to tell them I was trying to avoid taking responsibility for her child. Emphasis on the her child part.
Yeah, that's such a weird thing to be like,
Yeah.
no, how dare it's like, yeah, that's the most sensible thing to do in that moment is take the test. Taking care of, like, doing child support in this context without doing that test is like, it's like walking into a bank and being like, I'd like a loan of $50 million, please.
And they're like, well, we're going to have to look at your credit score. And you're like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Just
you
give me
don't trust
50
me?
mil right now.
When she ran out of excuses and the DNA test was finally taken, surprise, surprise, I'm not the father. She was so mad with the result and cried about the money, saying it was unfair and she deserved it. but she didn't accomplish anything.
Yeah, just go find the dad.
Find the real dad.
And then do this again.
Yeah, do it for real this time. Moving on to last week, there was a little party at my parents' house. My brother, a friend, and I were talking, and my brother started to joke about the situation with my ex. My friend and I started to joke about it too. Some of our comments were a little dark and bad, but we were far away from the rest of the people. Literally, we were on the opposite side of the house, and nobody else could hear us. At least that was what we thought. What were y'all joking about?
I want the transcript on that.
Yeah. We were laughing like crazy when my sister appeared, very angry, and pushed me against the wall. She spied on us and heard our conversation, and she was really mad. She started to yell at us about how horrible people we were for mocking a poor woman. A few hours later, when the party ended, she asked me to go to the kitchen with our parents, and she started to say how awful I was for the previous situation. Apparently, my ex had been in contact with her, and she believed her version, and that was her way to have an intervention.
Okay.
Wait, your sister believes that you're the kid's father, even though there's DNA evidence that you aren't? My brother and I were like, are you serious? When she started to say how I forced my ex into being a single mother and that I have the moral obligation to help her. My dad only said that maybe we were being too cruel making jokes about her, but that I wasn't responsible for that kid. My mom then...
Okay, but really quick.
Yes.
Were you making these jokes to her face?
No, you're...
Right.
Yeah.
So no one's being cruel because these are jokes said about a situation outside.
Potentially the jokes were like rude or maybe like uncouth to make in the situation or something, but you're not making them to her face. You're making them to your friends like in a corner in a party.
Right.
And it seems like your sister's problem with it is that she thinks that you're the father.
Which you're not.
Which you're not the father.
Yeah.
So I weird. My mom then surprised all of us when she said, even if the kid is not yours, you're making more than enough money to support that child. You should have helped her.
Oh, dang.
That's a crazy take.
Where does that end? Where does that logic train
Does
end
OP have
up?
to help all of the children? All of the children that like don't have fathers?
Exactly. That's like
your responsibility, OP.
Right.
OP, you are now Social Security.
You're taking on the duties of the state.
Yeah. Since then, I have been receiving texts. My dad and my brother are on my side, saying I'm not responsible for her, but my sister is telling me how horrible I am for ruining their lives. How did you ruin their lives? My mom only said, it's your decision, and I respect it. I'm just very disappointed that you ended up being so selfish.
What are we talking about? They broke up badly from the beginning of the story.
5 years ago.
Yeah, this is not OP's not being selfish here.
And then and then I think what you do is you go back to your mom and you say, you know what, you're right. I've also found you a child to pay for.
Yeah, sponsor this child.
Sponsor this child. I thought we could all sponsor a child together.
Yeah.
So here you go.
So we can
do you want
all
to pay child
not be
payments for this
selfish.
random child?
Please.
I'm aware that she doesn't deserve my money and I'm not planning to give her any, but the constant intimidation from my sister trying to guilt me is just exhausting. And there is an update, but do you have any other thoughts before we get into it?
I just don't understand being in this situation and then like playing into it at all. I would completely shut down all conversation to this and be like,
that doesn't make any sense. That's
not
ridiculous.
my kid though.
Yeah.
So what are we now talking about?
I don't even know how you would. I wouldn't entertain that at all. I would just say, it's not my child. Sorry.
Can I feel?
And then maybe limit contact with mom and sister?
I don't know.
Or at least until they come to their senses, if they ever do. But the fact that they're guilting you for not taking care of a child that isn't yours, ridiculous.
It's
but there is an update.
Baffling situation.
Truly baffling. It's been a while. After my last post, I read all the comments and decided to show them to my mother. We had a talk about the situation. Again, she started on my ex's side, but after reading the post and all the comments and opinions, she realized she was wrong. Wait, your mom did?
I don't know. Somebody did.
Yeah, your mom did. Yeah. She was like, ooh, I was crazy there. Sorry.
Just took the whole internet telling me so.
Yeah. I think the thing that hurt her the most was all the doubts about if she cheated on my dad and I wasn't his son, and if that was the reason she was on her side. We had a very long conversation. She told me that she believed my ex because she was always so nice and kind with her. That she decided to not believe me when I told her all the things she did to me during the relationship because a good girl like her could never do something like that. So I must be lying.
Yes. The good old fashioned, nuh-uh, because I don't believe it.
She said you're lying, so I believed her. After that, she apologized to me. We are good now. That was easy.
Okay, we're back. We're back to square one.
She just had to read the Reddit story?
I guess. To be like, oh, wait, that's how childcare works. It's when it's your kid that it's your responsibility.
Yeah, she's like, I understand. Sorry. Totally misread the terms and conditions.
And like, you can have empathy for this like single mom.
Absolutely.
But it's like her demanding that you pay for her kid is like, well,
too far. I think if the sister had come and said like, hey, that seems like a bit of an insensitive, line of conversation or insensitive jokes about the mom, maybe we should cool it. That would have been fair, but to say that he needs to pay for the child is ridiculous. On the other side, my sister, at first she decided that she wouldn't talk to me until I take responsibility. But after some days, I talked with her. She is totally on her side, the exes, even after showing her everything. She said that none of that matters because a woman's word goes first, and that's all the proof anyone could need.
Right, because like a woman has never lied ever.
She's like, I don't need to look at the science. I believe women.
There's no such thing as two sides. There's only women good.
Women good, everyone else wrong, bad.
Everyone else.
And if you show me a woman's word and then also the word of a female scientist, it's kind of a paradox. I don't know who to believe.
That's why it's dangerous to have two women talking to each other, because if two of them say different things, a paradox occurs.
And then I just sit there and I cry.
The world collapses into a singularity.
Also, she said that even if you're not the biological father, you have an effective responsibility with her, so you must be man enough to take charge of them and start acting like a real man. What is your sister on?
What are you on about?
What cult has she joined? She was a lost cause.
Yeah.
About my ex, I did some research and I found out that shortly after we broke up, she started dating another guy. Or maybe she was cheating on me with him before, I'm not sure. They broke up some weeks later and she had multiple dates until she found out she was pregnant. I also found out that she's been trying to find a father to her kid for the last 2 years, and I was the next on the list.
Oh, she's got a list.
She's just going down all the people, like going down the list of all the people that she's dated, or like finding people on Hinge, and she's like, I don't know. I guess this person could work. They've got a career. I don't like this one.
She's one step away from making a Craigslist ad, just being like, looking for a father.
Not with own children. A father for my children.
Yes, this is not a paid position.
No,
you
pay
have to
me,
pay actually.
But you get a child. But it looks like she's desperate now because she was never that aggressive with any other one before. Now, the reason for this post.
Oh.
Some days ago, my ex and my sister came to my workplace. They made a big sign with my face that said, "He abandoned his child. An irresponsible father. I
abandoned my child. I abandoned my boy."
Dude.
He's Daniel Day-Lewis.
What? And started drama saying all their BS. Their intention was to shame me and use social pressure to force me to take charge of them. They literally said that.
So are we in territory where this is like legally an offense now? They're like trying to slander this guy to ruin his job?
I mean, they're coming to his job. They're coming to his workplace.
They're messing with his employment.
I feel like you could potentially get some sort of restraining order. I don't know, but like definitely gotta go very limited to no contact with your sister if she's pulling this stuff.
Well,
like she's gone off the deep end.
I think the maybe the most appropriate sweet baby angel move here is it's like this woman comes to you and is like, this is your kid. You take the paternity test and then it's not. And you go, all right, so it's not my kid. But like, are you guys in imminent danger or like what?
Yeah, why do you need this money so bad?
What's going on? Like,
or you make another sign
in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, again, they broke up bad.
5 years ago.
And now she's coming back and campaigning to get you fired for abandoning a child that's not yours.
I think what you do is you make a sign and you put the DNA results on it, and then you campaign next to them and say, it's not my child. Here's the proof.
Yeah.
To not make the story too long, they were taken out of the place. I got in trouble for that scandal even after showing all the proof and legal documents that showed they were lying. I was warned that this better never happen again or I'll be fired. After that, I contacted my friend, the lawyer, and we are now drafting a very long and detailed paper against them, my ex and my sister too.
Wait a minute. Your job said, or you'll be fired if these two people show up again?
What?
Your job said you're going to get fired for that.
You're being harassed.
That sounds like wrongful termination lawsuit right there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was warned this better never happen again or I'd be fired. That's, well.
That's definitely wrongful termination. It's like, what do you want me to do?
Did you tell them it's not true?
It's not true. Yeah, it says what P said. I said it wasn't true.
Okay.
They went too far. Now I'm going against them with everything. Maybe that'll scare them enough to leave me alone. And there is a second update. But yeah, I mean, like, money, that's crazy. I don't know what I was going to say.
Money.
That's crazy. They want your money.
You're Pink Floyd. Money. It's crazy.
Call the police. Call the state.
Call the police. Call
against
the state.
Your job and the ex. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, let your job fire you and then sue them for wrongful termination.
Yes. Yeah, say, okay, do it. Bet. You won't.
Yeah, or talk to your lawyer friend about that at least.
That's quite common. Employers don't like drama at their workplace. Yeah, and this is literally be like, I have proof that this is not my child. These people are harassing me. My job doesn't care, is not protecting me at my workplace, and then fired me. And then take it to the court. Update 2. Hi, everyone, and sorry for the lack of news. The last few weeks have been crazy with a lot of stuff, but I think now is a good moment to update you all. First of all, I'm not allowed to talk a lot about the lawsuit. The most I can share with you is that my ex was extremely freaked out when she found out about it. She's now begging me to drop it. And then you say, no, maybe you should have dropped making me pay for your child.
Exactly.
Did you think about that? And then you also go to your job and you say, you guys suck.
You say, I'm out of here.
I was going to say, you can't fire me. I quit, but don't quit because then you can't get the wrongful termination stuff.
Yeah, I guess. Or I don't even know if
I think you just go to them and you say, you suck. And then they fire you. And then you're like, see, freaking fired me.
Well, we fired you because you said we suck.
Dang it. She is now begging me to drop it. She offered to take back everything she said, to never bother or even contact me again. She even tried to guilt me, saying that I would be ruining her and her son's life. You have so much power over this woman's son's life and her life. At least she's claiming that you do. Like, she's like, you have the power to ruin everything, and you're just like living life. You haven't seen her in 5 years. She needs to leave you alone.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. This is not doing any good for anybody at this point.
No. Like, go away, girl. But honestly, I don't care. I got tired of being the good guy a long time ago. She messed with me. Now I'm fighting back. And for my sister, the lawsuit at first only made her worse, as her attempt to shame me at my job didn't work as well as she wanted. She moved it to social media, spreading her BS about me abandoning my child, or not taking responsibility, and exposing my legal actions like acts of censorship and misogyny. But in the end, that will be worse for her, not only because I can dismiss her defamation easily, but also because it's more evidence in our favor. I mean, yeah, the fact that she is literally lying online about you.
Yep.
Libel. Full libel.
She can't stop.
Yeah, and now you have proof. Like, not only is she slandering you in person, but she's giving you the proof that you need to take to the courts and say, see, she's lying about me.
If she would just use like this effort to find the actual father of the child,
truly,
that would probably be a lot more effective.
I'm confused why they haven't. Maybe
she did, and he's just like a bum.
Yeah, and she's like, well, now I need to find another father.
Find a father in a higher tax bracket.
Yep. Anyways, this is going to be a long road, and we're just beginning. Recently, we had a posada at my parents' home. Every year, we use this excuse to make a big family party before Christmas. I had my doubts because I didn't want to be near my sister, but after some relatives assured me that she wouldn't be there, I decided to go. Big mistake, she was there.
No.
Yeah, I think that you have to kind of distance yourself from this family if they're I mean, even if they're not supporting your sister, they're allowing this behavior to go unchecked.
They're pretending this is your kid.
Yeah. They're all
They're-
going crazy.
Why is she at the family Christmas party?
Yeah. This is the sister, not the ex, to be clear.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense why she's at the
I
family
was like,
Christmas
no,
party.
no, she's got a reason to be there.
For a sec, I was just like, oh no, what?
But I'm
Never
saying
mind.
like the fact that they told OP that she wouldn't be there and then she was there shows that they really don't care what she's doing to OP.
Yeah, it's true.
Mom decided that despite everything that happened, I was taking all this too far. So she wanted all of us to meet to solve this problem as a family. Girl, you were the one who could have fixed it way earlier if you had just checked your daughter's actions and behaviors. But you supported her. You were like, well, you should actually pay for that child that isn't yours.
Yeah, you're like, I'm disappointed in how selfish you're being.
Yeah. I tried to get out of there the moment I realized what she intended, but some relatives tried to stop me while my mom cried that I needed to stop. I was tearing this family apart. I needed to learn to forgive and let go. You can't forgive someone who hasn't apologized.
Yeah, and they're actively still doing the
They're
behaviors
actively
that they
still
need to
doing
apologize
it.
for.
It's like, no, I apologize. I mean, I forgive you. And then they do it again. You're like, okay, this is kind of an ongoing forgiveness. Every time you hurt me, immediate forgiveness.
yeah,
That's
just
what the mom
go ahead and
wants.
put the forgiveness fuel in the tank,
Yeah.
and I'll burn it when I need to forgive you,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can just refill it later.
Refill it. And you never have to apologize ever. I realized that despite everything, even knowing I was telling the truth, she was still on my sister's side. I got out of there telling her that I'm not attending any family event again if my sister is there and to not ever think of trying this BS again. There's just this really weird attitude towards men from the sister and the mom. They've got this like kind of traditional sense, but also very much like, I believe women all the time and for, without proof of anything.
Right.
It's like, I think a man needs to be a man and support these kids. And then also like women empowerment. But this is just so skewed of a mindset that it's not actual true empowerment of anyone.
Feels like a merry-go-round to
Yeah.
nowhere.
America, that's very true. Oh, at this point, almost all my family knows what she did. Some of them think my sister is crazy. Some others think she's crazy, but that I'm taking it too far. A couple of days ago, Mom invited me to spend Christmas with them. I didn't want to go after what she did, but I decided to give her a chance after she swore it wouldn't happen again. I don't believe her.
Don't believe it.
But not only had she planned to do it again, my brother warned me that this time she intended to lock me in until I forgive my sister and stop the nonsense. Lock you in where?
False imprisonment?
Lock
What,
you
they-
in the house?
They'll put you in the basement? Be
They're like,
"You
you're
guys
going to
can't
stay
come
in
out."
that bathroom until you pay for your not child. I called my mom and told her I knew and that I was done with her and my sister. I told her not to talk to me until she realizes she supported the wrong person and to apologize. I don't need to say how many times she tried to call me in the following hours and all the drama she made when I didn't show up for Christmas. But again, I'm tired of being the good guy. So that's it for the moment. Hope all of you had a nice Christmas, and I wish you a happy and drama-free New Year.
Huzzah.
Yoicks. There is another update, but I think you gotta go no contact with your mom and your sister.
Yeah, or it's just like, I don't know how we keep getting into this situation where we're like forced to have these discussions. It's
Yeah.
like, just stop participating.
Truly. It's like they're clearly just so out of touch with the world that you can't reason with them right now. I'm wondering how they've acted in other situations, if this is behavior that they've exhibited before, or if they just really like this ex for some reason.
First, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
But-
would just bring a copy of that paternity to bring
Yes,
multiple
everywhere.
copies.
Keep it like you keep your COVID vaccination in your wallet.
Whenever they bring it up, just take a copy of it
Yeah.
and just hand it to them.
Hand it
They
out.
bring up another thing. Get that second copy out.
Mhm.
Give it to them.
Yeah. Or I guess it's more like a business card.
Yeah.
You should make business cards with the DNA test on it, like in small print, and then just hand it out. Be like, here you go.
Yeah.
I'm not that kid's father.
Don't say a word. Don't
Yeah.
say a word. Just hand him the business card that says, I'm not the father.
I'm not the father.
I'm not the father.
Yeah. Don't
I'm not
call
the
me.
father.
Here's a fake number. Don't call me.
1-800,
man.
I'm not the father.
Katie Paladin says OP should start carrying around crazy sister repellent. Yeah, and that's what they call a restraining order. Update 3. Hi to all that are still here. Thus.
Hello.
It's been a while, more than a year, and I think now is a good time to give an update about everything that happened with my life during the last year. Lots of things happened, and lots of things have changed. The lawsuit. To be short, I won. Yeah, I mean, it'd be crazy if you didn't.
Shocker.
You had so much evidence that, one, you weren't the father, and also they were harassing you.
Yeah, the only way you could have lost is if the sister and your ex were both the judge.
Yeah. Or if they, like, bribed the judge. We didn't get into trial. It all got solved in conciliation meetings. And my lawyer's strategy was to add all the things we could think of, from the intimidation, the defamation, to the attempts to put my job at risk, parental fraud, everything. And also, if you can go to your job and get, the proof that they threatened to fire you for their behavior and show,
I don't know,
hey,
a lot
like,
of people
I
are
almost
saying
lost my job.
that's not that you wouldn't win a lawsuit from that, because it's
You wouldn't
like
win a lawsuit for what?
that they have the right to terminate you for that kind of stuff.
No. I'm saying not necessarily like winning a lawsuit against the job, but taking that, what they said to this hearing and saying like they threatened to fire me because of their behavior. So like this would have been, I would have had significant impacts to my financials. Yeah.
And I would also find a new job, because I wouldn't want to work somewhere that would be like, get out. These people are slandering you. We're firing you.
Yeah. The idea was to scare the crap out of them, and if that didn't work, there would be lots of charges against my ex and my sister. My sister kept calling it a bluff and kept posting all her BS on social media, things she now regrets, as every single word she posted against me came back to bite her butt when it was used as proof. My ex took back everything she said and was easier for my forgiveness after seeing that she would lose a lot, so she ended up agreeing to compensate the damages out of court and left my sister alone in a battle she started. When my sister realized how big things really were, that she was alone now and would lose, she freaked out, deleted every single post she made, and tried to pretend she never did what she did. Girl, digital footprint, can't erase that.
That's actually some of the most unhinged behavior I've seen in this post. That thinking that you could just delete all of that and then act like nothing happened.
She's like, what are you talking about? I never did that. And they're like, ma'am, we have screenshots of all the posts that you made.
She's like, are you sure about that? I don't think that post exists anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore. And they're like, how did you know it existed ever? And she's like, I meant it never existed.
Yeah, I don't know. The internet's a funny place.
Someone hacked into my account. But at that point, we had all the backups, screenshots, and recordings we needed. On the last conciliation meeting, she broke down crying, begging me to forgive her and not make her do this. But she did this to herself. She had multiple chances to stop, but she kept pushing and ended up facing the consequences of her own stupidity. She had to pay me a good amount plus all the legal costs. My mother helped her pay, but now she has a considerable debt, as my dad demanded she pay them back over time. For a few months, she resented me for what I did, but we ended up talking and getting back on good terms. Your mom. Our relationship is damaged, but healing. She confessed to me that at the beginning, she felt she was fighting for a good reason, for a cause she believed in, to defend a poor woman in need. She believed she was doing the right thing, so she was sure she had to win in the end.
Is this mom or sister?
This is mom. But that's just like...
Mom was fighting a good fight. You're fighting your own child.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's just an insane... I don't know if I would accept that excuse. That's not a good excuse. She was defending a random woman.
I think maybe she just wanted a grandchild real bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, she was defending a random woman whose child you had no affiliation to at the expense of her own son.
Yeah.
And that's the only excuse she has?
Which I guess the information she had to go off of was like from the sister, and the sister was talking like he was definitely the father, and that the breakup was
DNA.
His fault and all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
Those ideas were supported by her friends. As she said, those girls were encouraging her to fight, to face me, and make me fulfill my obligations.
Okay, it's the sister.
That she was fighting in the name of other women. Still a really silly argument.
Except it's not her son. But
yeah,
it is
not
her brother.
Son, but it is her brother. Still related. She's fighting against her own brother.
You're crusading against it for nothing. You're crusading for nothing.
Yeah, she was fighting in the name of other women. It's just like so stupid,
Even
so misguided.
That's dumb. It's like you should have been fighting for that kid. Instead, it's for like for other women.
Well, but it's not even for other women. It's for this fake, fake idea that she has in her head that she's like a crusader for the empowerment of women when you're fighting for lies. Those ideas stayed with her until things got too real when she saw there was no way she would win. So like she didn't even care about the truth. She just wanted to win.
Right, exactly. This wasn't about anything except her winning against her brother.
Yeah. Then all those girls disappeared. My ex left her alone, and all the ones who gave her support wished her luck and went away. Yeah, because they saw this was stupid. So she had no other choice but to surrender. So that's how things ended with them. And for those who suspected, no, my sister and my ex weren't in a relationship. I don't know where my ex is, and I don't care. She paid and disappeared, and I hope to never see her again. Some people had told me I went too far with her, even some calling me a monster for ruining a single mother who was already in trouble. And some had said I'm not loyal to my family for taking this far instead of solving it inside the family. At this point, I don't care anymore. Whoever is saying that is a troll.
Well, I mean, I feel like you did solve it, and it did. It's like because now your sister's like, oh, I have tangible consequences for my action.
And also, no one has like any sort of criminal record. You guys solved it in the mediation or conciliation or whatever hearings.
Right.
So it's like she had to pay a fine probably at the very, at the most. My mother, for the months the conciliation lasted, my mom went on my sister's side. Multiple times she tried to convince me to stop, from asking me to just let it go, to trying to guilt me for everything she could think of. She even threatened to disown me, said she would not see me as a son anymore, and that she would separate me from the family. But in the end, she couldn't, and was, and still is, resentful.
Well, yeah, because she's paying. She's helping your sister pay that.
Yeah.
Those costs.
So strange that the mom seems to be defending the sister. The sister has now come around and said like that was my bad. Sorry about that. And still the mother is so stubborn that she cannot let go this fight that the sister started for no reason.
Yeah. It seems like there's just this constant expectation for OP to just let stuff go or let stuff happen to him.
I wonder if that was kind of I want to know like more about their life. Is this the behavior that they've kind of been showing the whole time? Have they been putting all of these random responsibilities on OP that he shouldn't be responsible for?
Yeah.
For all those months and after everything was over, I kept asking myself why she did this, why she kept treating me like this, putting everyone's side before mine. So after reading multiple people saying to do this, I finally did it. The DNA test. After talking about it with my brother and dad, we all agreed it was too rare for my mom to act like this. Oh, implying maybe mom cheated. And that's why she was like so adamant that OP be like show up as a father for this kid that is not his kid. Because she's like, your dad did it.
An interesting layer of the psychological lasagna.
And because of everything my mom said and implied, my dad had more and more doubts, to the point he was sure she did something. After some beers and a very hard talk, some tears, and the promise that no matter what the results say, to me and my bro, he will always be our dad. We made the DNA, we took the DNA test. Both of us are his sons.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily mean she didn't cheat though.
Well, that's true, but
at least you guys are his sons.
All right.
My dad was so relieved, but then very embarrassed for having doubts about his wife's loyalty. He felt very ashamed, so we ended up agreeing to apologize to her for what we did.
No.
She hasn't apologized to you for what she did.
Right. And it makes sense. She was acting so out of pocket about this. It's like, well, let's find out why she's so insistent that I need to raise this kid that's not mine.
And then OP says, as I started the talk of the DNA test, I asked to be the first to talk and apologized to her. No. Why would you apologize? She literally still has not apologized to you. Yeah. You don't owe her anything.
Sometimes, though, it's about ease of existence.
Yeah, OP's like, well, I feel bad for this, and she sucks, so I'm going to be the bigger person.
Yeah, sometimes it's more like, I don't even care what's right. I'm so over this. I don't care anymore.
Ooh, Josephine says sister isn't his, probably. Didn't do that DNA test. That night, all of us gathered at my dad's house. We sat around the table, and I started by recognizing all the fights and tension we had over the months and apologizing for it. Because after all, she is my mother.
Okay, whatever. If that's what I'm saying. Whatever. Yep.
But her behavior made us all wonder and have a lot of doubts about why she was being like this. So I suggested we all go take a DNA test. Right after saying that, my mom went livid. And half a second later, her face went red. She got up from the chair, threw herself at me, pulling my hair, scratching and hitting me, screaming, "Why did you do this? I hate you. You had no right."
He had no right.
And that is a woman who has something to hide.
Yeah, but you got to let her do all that stuff because after all, she's your mother.
She's your mother.
Right? Are we still rocking with this logic now?
Yeah, that's
right?
silly logic. Silly logic. My father and brother separated her from me, and she immediately started to ask for forgiveness from my dad. Yep. She cheated. She cheated. Whoop. Whoop. Yeah.
Whoop.
And then they're going to pull it said they were my kids. And she goes, "Oh, never mind. Sorry."
Yeah, she'd be like, "Now I actually don't know what. Your Honor, I have no memory of this
Your
incident."
Honor, sorry. I deleted all the posts. My dad was surprised and furious when he told her that I was about to apologize to her because the results said we were his sons. Her face was a mix of fear and desperation. Her reaction told us everything. I never saw my dad so angry. She confessed that long ago she had an affair for a long time until she got pregnant with me. She never knew if she got pregnant by my dad or by her lover, as they rarely use protection. And she multiple times, there was a chance that she could have got pregnant.
Did the whole wham bam shang-a-lang.
All these years, she had the doubt about who my real father was, and she pretended to take the secret to the grave. But now, she exposed herself, and it makes sense. That was the reason she always treated me like this. That's why she always put everyone else's word before mine. Dad threw her out that night. And in very little time, all the family knew about it. We warned them in case she tried to say any lies, which she hated because she called us saying, "We had no right to say anything, that she's our mother and we can't say anything against her."
Well, you just found out, actually, that you're our mother.
Yeah, it's like, you thought you weren't our mother, though.
You didn't even know that.
And also, it's so funny that she's calling people and being like, trying to get ahead of the story. Probably gonna lie. Probably gonna say like, "Oh, they're gonna come to you and say that I'm not the, like, I cheated? No, he cheated."
Yeah,
and she's mad
she'll
that
be like,
yeah.
"There's a paternity test that says that they're my kids.
Yeah.
I made them take it."
Yeah. The aftermath. So to conclude this craziness, I won a good amount of money. My brother is still my best friend. My relationship with my sister is damaged but healing, and she's separated from her toxic and misandric friends. My ex is gone, I hope forever this time. Dad is hurt, and my mom revealed to be a cheater, but they're not divorcing? Okay.
Let's get to the bottom of that.
She is back at my dad's home, but he hasn't forgiven her, and for what he said, he never will. But he doesn't want to go through a divorce or give her anything he had worked for.
Did we not do the prenuptials?
In his words, they're married, but they're not a couple, and she's now trying to earn my dad's forgiveness. And of course, my mom now openly hates me because to her, I'm the cause of all her problems. In her words, "If you had done what I said and taken charge of the kid, none of this would have happened. I hope you're happy now."
Dang. Hey, Mom, I got one better for you. If you hadn't have banged that other dude, none of this would have happened.
If you hadn't banged that other dude and then also started this whole argument about how I needed to take care of the kid, none of this would happen. And probably no one would have found out.
Indeed. And secondarily, if you hadn't have launched yourself across the living room and started attacking me, this also never would have happened.
Yeah, so it's a lot of your fault.
Yeah.
And that's it. Sorry for the text ball. I hope you all had a good 2023 and also wish you a good 2024. I will keep working, saving, and trying to build a life away from this madness. I'll probably cut contact with my mom, but I don't care at this point anymore. I saw lots of you are kind of worried about some things I said. So for all who suggested therapy, yes, already on it. I've been seeing a psychologist once a month since I knew about my mom's cheating. It's been helping a lot. For the ones who are worried, I'm not going to start hating women from now on.
Aw, man.
No, they're like,
Aw,
you're not going to
dang
start
it.
hating women from now on, are you?
I thought we had you.
I'm aware not all women are this bad, and I know there are lots of amazing and awesome ones, but after this, it's hard for me to trust anyone, not just women. Opie's like, don't worry, I don't hate women, I hate everyone.
Well, you had one of the closest figures in your life that is like biologically built for you to trust, like lie to you your whole life. So yeah, fair.
By the way, you know what else is fair to us? listening to full episodes of stories just like this, just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search a Pokey Storytime. But there is a wee bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, don't cheat.
Before you... Wait, what's that song? Before
Don't
you cheat?
And none of this slap it to you.
Yeah.
What did you say?
What's the song? Before you cheat?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Don't cheat. Don't force your siblings to take care of children that aren't theirs.
And like, if you're in the position where they're trying to do that and you have a paternity test, don't engage with these debates. Just give them a copy of the test again and again and again until they shut up. And limit
contact until they can get their head on straight. Because
Yeah,
you don't deserve, like, all those people out there, if you have family members who are just harassing you and you've already tried to have a conversation with them and tried to tell them facts and they still don't even care about the facts, you can't reason with that person.
Yep.
And if you can't reason with someone, then communication is impossible. But there is a little bit left to this. Before he cheats is that's what the song is called.
Oh, is that what is it?
What's that song before he cheats?
It's Before He Cheats.
Yeah.
Louisville Slugger and
That was my Charlotte Sweat moment.
That was your Charlotte.
What's that song? Before he cheats? Before he cheats. About my dad, me and my brother tried to convince him multiple times to divorce my mom, but he made his choice, and God knows he will stick to it. Even after we promised to help him in case he ends up losing too much, there's no way to make him change his mind. My relationship with my mother is in the worst state ever. I consider it lost. After knowing the truth and having therapy, lots of things started to make sense. About how all my life she put everyone else's words before mine, or how she always used to put herself on everyone's side except mine. Knowing that she always resented me and that all the efforts I made in my childhood were a waste hurts. I'm not planning on having a relationship with her anymore. I mean, she literally attacked you.
Yeah, fair enough.
She legitimately attacked you.
You were attacked and she lied to you and
she cheated on your dad, and she also didn't defend you when people were making crazy accusations towards you.
Yeah, I'd be low contact at the very least.
I would be. I think this is a very, very fair no contact here.
Yeah, man.
But that is the end of that story.
Shoo-wee.
But not the end of this episode, I don't think.
My sister's boyfriend makes the family uncomfortable, but she sees nothing wrong.
Well, get her out of there.
Trigger warning, this does talk about emotionally relationships, so if that's going to affect you in a negative way, please just scooch on to the next video. Okay, so let me start off by saying my older sister has never been very mature, but she's always been fun to be around, even if she hasn't been the best role model. By the way, this comes from Suitcase Under Each Eye, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/showcase storytime subreddit. So, last February, she seemed to be really changing for the better. She started working out, seeing a therapist, broke up with her harmful boyfriend, and was all around starting to take better care of herself. We were thrilled. She and I have never been very close because we're polar opposites when it comes to personality. I'm outgoing and outspoken, and she's painfully shy and insecure. But we finally began forming an adult relationship, and I was so happy to have the kind of older sister that I could look up to. 2 months later, she meets this guy, Jerry, and things go downhill fast.
Ruh-roh.
She starts pulling away from the family, claiming that she's a black sheep and we don't understand her like he does. She starts picking fights over the tiniest things, stops working out, stops seeing her therapist, and stops putting any effort into anything but him.
Super concerning.
One of the things that really set this all into motion, I think, was that my mom had booked a beach house vacation for everyone and asked for just family. My sister threw a huge fit, screaming and crying, asking why our older sister's husband of 7 years was allowed to go, but not her new boyfriend. My parents tried to be as understanding as possible and handled it as best they could, but I think she got it into her head that they left him out on purpose. Keep in mind, my younger sister and I also had boyfriends who weren't allowed to come. Also, my parents had paid for the house and her plane ticket because she had told them that she couldn't afford to come otherwise. In the past year, things have gotten only worse. There have been a couple of instances I'd like to highlight specifically. First time we met him, we all went out for a trip to the lake. I tried paddleboarding for the first time, but ended up falling and injuring my hand. I started crying and he asked to see it. I showed him my hand, which was already swelling and bleeding, which he took into his and proceeded to smack it pretty forcefully.
That's not medically advised.
No.
He's like, here, I'll fix it. Bam.
Then he and my sister started cackling while I began to sob, and my dad took me to the ER. He did not apologize even after finding out it had been severely sprained.
He's a monster.
When my mom and little sister stayed with him overnight, he walked into the guest room without knocking while my mom was changing and wearing just a bra and underwear. She was startled and asked him to leave, but he said that it wasn't a big deal because she was basically in a bathing suit. He then hugged her and left the room.
I'm sorry, if that ever happened to like, I'm trying to think like if this is my dad or like this happened to my mom.
Yeah.
My dad freaking throwing hands.
Absolutely.
Like, no.
Oh
no.
My God.
That is incredibly inappropriate.
Dude, I'm shocked. Oh. While my sister, 20, went to stay with them, she witnessed him yelling inappropriate things at women jogging while they were driving to a restaurant. And when they returned to my older sister's apartment, Jerry tried to bully my younger sister into smoking devil's lettuce with him. When my pregnant older sister met them at a Christmas party, he stood over her and wouldn't move until she got up to give him a hug. At the same party, he drank 6 to 8 in about 2 hours and then decided that he needed to leave to drive back home.
That's what I'm calling the police. Hello, police.
Mm-hmm.
Got a drunk driver on the road.
Oh my gosh. He was adamant that only he could drive them home, even with my mom and uncle encouraging my sister to drive instead. My dad wasn't there at the time. He met my best friend of 20 years for 30 minutes and then proceeded to speculate that he was on substances and a junkie because he went to the bathroom twice between us going to lunch and leaving the restaurant. When my sister had her baby, he refused to sit to hold the child, insisting that he was fine and accusing us of thinking that he was too not to drop him. I went to visit my sister, and before I left, he insisted on hugging me. I tried to be friendly and went in for a hug. He then proceeded to squeeze and shake me. I told him over and over that he was making me uncomfortable, but he wouldn't put me down. He took a long, nosy whiff of my hair before I finally shoved myself away from him, and he started laughing at my obvious discomfort. I'm so disgusted. Oh my gosh. I looked to my sister for support, and instead she told me that his hobby was to go up to strangers and sniff their hair and then challenge them if they acted uncomfortable.
You're a freak. And also just totally bypassing people's boundaries. No, it's harassment.
Absolutely.
Full on harassment.
Absolutely. People who like enjoy making other people uncomfortable,
Just the worst
you
people.
have to stay away from them because
Worst people.
it's not funny.
No.
It's just so creepy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, really not okay. And unfortunately, some part of improving this situation is you standing up for yourself and saying, don't touch me.
Mm-hmm.
Get off me. Do not be afraid to say, do not touch me.
Yeah. He got into a huge row with my aunt about vaccines and how bad they are and unnecessary.
Wow, shocking. That's what he believes.
My sister just sat there and twiddled her thumbs. Keep in mind, my dad used to make vaccines. Oh, wow. When my sister came to us the one time this year, he called her in a panic about how his brother was passed away from a construction accident. And it turned into his brother's friend who had passed away. And his brother was going to lose his leg. Then it was his brother's legs that were just broken. Then it was his brother was totally fine and was being discharged from the hospital. This all occurred in the span of 24 hours that she was with us. There is so much more, but I could go on forever, and I don't really think that it's necessary. He lies about everything and then changes his stories. Then when he's caught, he gets insanely defensive. My sister refuses to talk about it, even when we've tried to approach her about these issues calmly and rationally. She instead sees the fault in us, claiming that we're elitist and trying to take her away from her one true love. She has made it clear in the past month that if we do not accept him, we do not accept her, and that she is willing to cut all contact with us to preserve her relationship with him. At this point, I have lost all respect for my sister. She's always been immature, but in the past year, she has turned into a manipulative bully. My parents have tried talking to her. They exchanged emails because she refuses to talk on the phone, but she won't hear a single negative word about him. She keeps attacking my parents like it's their fault. She refuses to respond to their emails now, but continues to send hurtful, malicious emails to them. Is there any way to save this relationship without completely ostracizing her? And there is an update, but what do we think?
I don't even know. I mean, at that point, you've talked about it. I think it's just telling her, hey, like, we love and support you.
Yeah.
But it's also, like, you know, prioritizing your safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's only so much you can do before she has to make that final step herself.
Yeah.
So, like, don't put yourself at risk in the process.
Yeah, because I don't really think this is necessarily her being immature. I think it's very common for in situations like this, for like if she's, you know, attacking the family or like insulting these people or whatever, and, you know, any little thing that they do is an insult to her and her boyfriend. It's very common for that to be the boyfriend like talking that into her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then,
I mean, he's probably saying all of the things that she's saying to them.
Absolutely. If he's saying these things, then it's probably like, oh, if you don't defend me, then you're just as bad or something like that. So she is probably just trying to do whatever she can to like appease the boyfriend because she's in this manipulative relationship. But we do have an update. So thanks to everyone who responded to the original post. Your advice was appreciated, and I really did try to follow it. Well, I wish I could say that my sister has come around and everything is better, but in fact, everything is much, much worse. Since my last post 2 months ago, my sister has moved and won't tell us where, is refusing to talk to my parents, specifically my mom. And when we as sisters meet up to hang out, she does a complete 180 whenever any of this trouble with Jerry is brought up. My younger sisters and I have decided to cut contact with her because her behavior and anger directed towards our parents is unacceptable. It's also come out recently that she has said some pretty hurtful things about all of us, including that my older sister and her husband are only married because of their son, and that she thinks that it would have been better if my parents had stopped having kids after her so that they could have paid for her college and all of her needs. I don't really understand how you can wish people in your family had never been born. I would maybe understand if she was joking or said it once out of anger, but she's said it multiple times and seemed serious every time. My oldest sister, 31 female, is keeping in contact with her now. We think that she's the only one allowed to see my sister because Jerry thinks that my older sister likes him. My oldest sister and her husband can't stand Jerry, but want to act as the bridge in case my sister ever comes to her senses. I don't know how much of my sister's behavior is influenced by Jerry, or if this is just her deciding to be cruel, but these past couple of months have been really hard. My parents tried to keep everything civil, but my sister seems to have this anger in her. She's taken to Facebook, pretty juvenile, I know, with declarations of being happy for the first time in her life and verbally attacking family and friends who post anything that doesn't agree with her opinions wholeheartedly. She's really isolating herself from my family and all but 2 of her friends. They approve of Jerry, so they're welcome in her life. Anyway, my mom is done with her behavior. My sister took a trip to Iceland, and when my mom asked her how it was, my sister went off about how she's still upset that the family hates Jerry and that she doesn't want to associate with us if we can't accept everything about him. She wouldn't even listen when my mom asked her to explain his behavior. She was completely irrational and said some terrible things to intentionally hurt my mom's feelings. I think my dad is still hoping that she'll come to her senses. He gets really defensive when any of us bring her up. He's always felt a special attachment to my sister because they're the only lefties in the family, and my sister has tried so hard to be like him. I understand that, but I think that he's hoping for a day that will never come. Personally, I think my sister is comfortable in harmful relationships. She's always been a very manipulative person, and she's always wanted to be the black sheep of the family. Now, with Jerry, she has more of an excuse than ever. I think she's too arrogant of a person to even realize how wrong she is about Jerry. By the way, you will never be wrong about finding full episodes with more stories just like this one on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app. Just search OK Storytime. Do it. Do it. Oh, man, there's still a little bit more in the story, but holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, sad. Very sad.
Very sad. Very sad.
It's good that your older sister is still like keeping in contact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of a big sacrifice on her end.
Yeah, but that's good though, because maybe eventually either she'll realize that she needs to get out of the relationship, or he will get tired of her or something like that and then leave, and then she'll have someone to fall back on. But there is a little bit more to the story.
Let's finish her off.
If it seems like I have a lot of animosity towards my sister, it's because she has been intentionally cruel to my family and our family friends these past couple of months. She said a lot of hurtful things to the people who have been so good to her, including to a friend who is dealing with and doesn't have time for her crap. And I think even if we are able to forgive her, we aren't going to forget. Meanwhile, Jerry hasn't tried to contact us and help clear up any misunderstanding. I'm sure he's just enjoying watching my sister implode. And that is the end of that story.
I proposed to my best friend's bully. It did not go well.
Did you propose that they stop bullying your best friend?
Beth and I have been best friends since preschool. We suffered through school together and eventually went to the same university for our undergrad. Beth had it worse in high school, being overweight and a drama geek. Allison was a mean girl, and mean she was to Beth. By the way, this comes from user Marrying the Mean Girl, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. Beth and I both moved back to our hometown at different times. Beth became an elementary school teacher and I went on to grad school. I started teaching at a local community college when I moved back. Allison married a soldier right out of high school and had 2 children with him. He was unalived in action while she was pregnant with their youngest. She moved back to our hometown and got a job at Starbucks. She's also working on getting an AA from a different community college, so an associate's. One morning on my way to work, I happened to go to Allison's Starbucks. I wasn't thrilled to see her, to say the least. She pulled me aside after I ordered and apologized for being such a wiener in high school. After a few weeks of stopping by for my morning latte, I asked her out. She was funny, kind, quick-witted, and yes, I noticed, I couldn't help it, as beautiful as ever. We've been together for a year, and she is the love of my life. I love her with all my heart, I love her children, and I've become a father figure to them both. I asked her to marry me and told her I'd like to adopt her kids. She accepted and we were both very excited for the future, but Beth did not take this news well. She has been blasting Allison to all of our old friends, some that I had hoped to make groomsmen. Things like Allison is using me for money, which she's not. She received a large insurance settlement after her husband's passing. She does not advertise this info though, or she's only interested in me now because geeky is the new cool, that a woman that looks like that could never truly be interested in a man like me.
Oh my gosh.
Allison has apologized to Beth before, and Beth said she accepted it, but obviously she still has some bitterness stored up. Allison and I tried to be understanding because, yes, Allison was awful in high school. She deserves anger. She's the first to admit that she doesn't deserve forgiveness. Last night, Beth called me wasted and asked to talk to Allison, and it was bad.
Uh-oh.
She went off on Emily, Allison's oldest. Emily has a severe peanut allergy and has very poor vision, which requires her to wear strong prescription glasses. Beth said things like Emily is made fun of at school, she attends the school where Beth teaches, and that she gets a secret kick out of it, knowing that Allison's own daughter is experiencing the same treatment Allison dished out. She said she hasn't made any moves to stop it, and that this is karma for Allison's nasty youth. Beth said Emily deserves her allergy and her thick glasses, and that this is what happens when an evil womb produces a child. Allison was shaking by the time she hung up on Beth. She's been sobbing all day and wants to pull Emily from that school and or report Beth and have her fired. I low-key would probably do that.
Because that's your teacher. If this is, I'm guessing it's elementary school or something that this is happen, like how old these kids are, but I would not want my kid around a school teacher like that. Even if it wasn't my kid that was being bullied by this teacher, I would not want to mess with that teacher ever.
Yeah, it's just, I don't think, this is Michaela Sorrell's hurt people, bullies become bullies. Yeah, this is a hurt person now just like lashing out at what she feels is like justified. Beth texted me this morning that she was so sorry for the things that she said, but the damage has been done. I told Allison I was hesitant to report her, and now Allison is furious with me. I think she might call off our engagement over this. Feel like a knucklehead for not being understanding. I'm marrying the girl that tormented her in high school. That's gotta suck. But she attacked this little girl, this sweet child I've been raising as my daughter and plan to legally make my own. I don't know what to do. Should we report Beth? My gut says yes, because what kind of teacher says those things about a child? If it were anyone but her, I'd be all for it. But on the other hand, she was wasted and her best friend is marrying her bully. I'm at a loss. I mean, man, it is like a very like tightrope situation of like, it really, you could just fall in either direction, because given the context, it's like, I don't think she's bullying all the students.
Sure.
I don't think she condones bullying. I think she was really drunk. Probably was like, yeah, your daughter gets picked on and I don't even care. I like it. And like, maybe that's true about one student, which is like still not good, but like,
right.
I don't know. It's just like,
I wouldn't trust that teacher though. That's what I feel. It's like, even if Emily wasn't my kid and my kid was just in that class, I would not trust that teacher to just, I don't know, be a good influence or be able to, like, if bullying did come up, if she would stop it or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is it's like, you've said some things now where it's like, you cannot put them back in the bottle.
Yeah.
You said some things that made it sound like you're like, you just let kids get bullied.
Exactly.
Almost to a level of encouraging it.
Right.
So even if it's in that one context, feels weird now, because I'm adopting that kid, so that's my kid. So what, am I not going to report you after you told me you let my kid get bullied?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
I don't I don't understand. That's a tough one. I'd almost flip a coin.
Get
That's
her-
so hard.
Yeah, you could talk to her, but I would report her for sure.
First, talk to your kid about what their experience is like at school.
I guess so.
I guess now, if you're just finding this out, there's an edit here. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. Yep, I'm a tool. I told Allison that I was completely wrong for hesitating to report Beth. I support her 100%. Emily is our top priority here. She has already emailed the teacher this morning and plans on calling the principal on Monday. We have both blocked Beth from Facebook and our phones, and there is an update here.
Ooh, let's see. Let's get on into it.
I think you're forced. Your hand becomes forced once you hear those words come out of the teacher's mouth.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who the teacher is.
Yeah.
Or what other it's like, oh, you're just letting. You said you get a kick out of seeing my kid get bullied? Well, I hope you get a kick out of finding a new job. Update. I'm trying to hit all the talking points at once here. Sorry if I miss any. I have obviously described teenage Allison poorly. She was a butthole, mean, and snarky, but she did not actively seek Beth out to torment her. No fake MySpace pages like you heard in the news. She was just a knucklehead to the people who weren't part of her cool crowd. She was not the meanest or main antagonist by a long shot. I glossed over her apologies because I didn't think they were relevant. I can assure you that they were heartfelt and sincere. Allison has made it clear that she doesn't expect forgiveness. She just wanted us to know that her poor behavior was entirely a reflection upon her, and we never did anything to incur her wrath. Allison and Beth had a tentative friendship building up until the engagement announcement. Allison is not the same person as she was in high school. I'm not the same person I was in high school. Allison had already emailed the teacher before I posted this. I think she's still a little angry that I didn't automatically join up on the burn Beth wagon, but she understands that I'm human. Beth has been a huge part of my life for years and that she is hurting. Her email didn't even mention Beth, just something like, I've heard that Emily is being picked on at school. Do you know if there's any truth to this? Allison has already asked Emily if she likes school. Yes. If kids have been mean to her. No. And if she has fun there. Yes. Emily comes home happy every day, so there's been nothing that would lead us to the conclusion that she was being bullied. Someone asked if Allison has told her kids about her being a mean girl. She has. She's made it very clear that it is never okay to hurt others, and while you may think being mean to others makes you feel good about yourself or makes others like you or think you're funny, you're hurting yourself too. No one deserves to be made to feel bad because you think it's funny. It's not funny, it's cruel. She used the feeding the good wolf / evil wolf analogy that seemed to really strike a chord with Emily. Her youngest is way too young to understand. Inside you are two wolves. One is silly and one is hungry.
I don't know that one.
Yes.
The silly and
Which
hungry
one will you
combo?
feed? Silly wolf.
Ah.
Feed the silly wolf. The
I'm
hungry
silly.
wolf just is too angry. He's like, I'm hungry. Give me more food. He's like, no, I'm making a joke over here.
Ooh, I'm gonna be a little goofy guy.
Making sillies over here. As for the friends being swayed against Allison, they either don't believe it or have made it clear they don't want to be involved in the fight. Honestly, if Beth had feelings for me, yeah, I can see how that could crush her. That doesn't excuse her actions at all, though. I'm not going to feel bad about asking someone I really liked out because she was a knucklehead as a teenager. I heard the phone call. I just put Beth on speakerphone with her consent so she could talk to us both. I got a few private messages from some people that I worry might actually be Beth. You're stuck raising some passed away soldiers' kids while your C-word barista wife F's other men. I hope Beth slips Emily some peanut butter at lunch. It's wonderful to know that this mother gets to feel what my own mother felt. If it's not Beth, these are people that are projecting their own issues here. Emily is doing great, obviously better than any of you. I appreciate the kind PMs quite a bit. And by the way, you can appreciate listening to full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to stories, wherever you listen to podcasts, search OK Storytime. After much thought, no matter what Emily's teacher says, we're going to the administration with what Beth said. Oh.
All right.
Emily is the priority now, not Beth, and we just can't trust Beth anymore.
Yup.
Depending on what Emily's teacher says, we may or may not give Beth a heads up. Eventually, I'd like to think we can forgive Beth, but trust her with this fragile little psyche. One and done, son. We can't risk it. Talking about their kid. I
Yeah,
assume, Emily.
absolutely.
That is the end of that story.
Woohoo! Dude, protect your freaking children from meanies like this. All
Yeah,
right.
dude, it's true. Think of the children. I understand that
Think of
Beth's a victim
children.
of bullying, but it's like, Beth needs to work through that in a way
Yeah.
that allows her to exist without feeling the need to revel in the bullying of another child.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
is completely innocent in the situation. So that's
Gotta end the cycle.
regardless of if that's even true or not. The fact that that came out is like concerning. It's like, well, would you, even if that's not happening right now, it's like if it did happen, now I have to question whether or not you just let my kid get harassed at school or encourage it almost. My friend refuses to accept that I don't want to date his friend. It's exhausting.
No means no, people.
Come on. I moved to a city and met a friend, Eric, who was gracious enough to bring me into his social group and help me meet new people. I have been in this city for 2 years. I travel often for work and have had a really hard time meeting anyone local, new girlfriends and men alike. By the way, this comes from user Making New Friends. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So I let Eric know this after we'd gotten to know each other a bit because I felt that people can't help you if you don't ask. I'm a pretty cool person and I have never had trouble building and maintaining relationships with the right people, so it's really been about opportunity to meet new girlfriends. Romantically, it's a whole other issue. I've been involved in a few harmful relationships, physically, emotionally, and financially. Well, Eric decides he has his best friend who would love me. He tells his friend I look like Scarlett Johansson and sent him pictures of me. He talked me up so much to his friend, and all the while I just cringed. He literally did it right in front of me. He noticed my face and said I should just be open to possibilities. Now, I was immediately uninterested in meeting this friend because I'd just met Eric and really wanted to build some platonic friendships. Throwing in blind date setups was just a bad idea. This was before Eric described his friend to me. I model for a living, so I work out a lot and have to stay in shape most of the year, and I'm 5'8", barefoot. I also own my own tech company that's been quite successful. I'll be leaving the modeling industry to run it full-time soon. In a man, I prefer someone fit, who has a runner's build and at least 5'8". That's my sweet spot. I'll never get hit on by men who meet that description. I'm constantly hit on by men who are pushing 5'5", and I'll never understand it. However, I digress. Eric told me his friend was super sweet, but was unlucky in love because of his weight. He's about 300 pounds. Eric said that he thought I would be great for his friend because I was beautiful, ambitious, and could help him lose weight. At this point, I just really felt like nothing I wanted was being taken into consideration. 1, I had already told him I didn't want to be set up. 2, he never asked me what type of man I was attracted to know that I would not be attracted to his friend. It was all about what I could offer his friend, who I had no interest in dating, and consistently made that very clear. Once again, I was being asked to bring everything to the table in exchange for some male companionship. I could be his friend's ambitious Scarlett Johansson with the great personality, in Eric's words, and help him get into shape. We all got together as a group and went out, and it was a great time. Eric's girlfriend was super sweet and also a model, so I chatted with her more. Eric's friend was there, and he's genuinely an amazing person. He's very nice, and I'm sorry he's had issues with dating because of his weight, but I'm just not attracted to him. Eric won't let it go. He makes comments about me keeping an open mind, etc. Here's my thing. I am tired of entering into relationships with men and overlooking important things such as looks. I feel like women are constantly asked to do this, and I'm sick of it. In the past, I'd done it on my own, just thinking I could get past not being attracted to them. The men who mistreated me were all very nice at first, and because of that, I looked past not being attracted to them because they offered companionship and seemed kind. No! Attraction is important, and newsflash, there are plenty of not conventionally attractive men who are insane a-holes. The men I've dated in the past have not been my type, but because they pursued me, I thought that meant they were genuinely interested in me and not what I just have to offer. I don't know where society got the idea that men who are overlooked because of looks automatically have hearts of gold. I shouldn't have to compromise on attraction just to meet a decent romantic partner. No one should. I'm not looking for George Clooney, for God's sake. I'm pissed that Eric sees what all I could potentially bring to the table for his friend in exchange for his friend's kindness. Why does he only see me as being good enough to be a fixer for his friend? Telling me to keep an open mind? I'm not asking anyone to come to the table and fix me and my issues. I get that Eric is coming from a loving place for his friend, but it's not a fair place for me. Problem is, I really like all these people as friends, but if Eric keeps this up, his friend's feelings are going to get hurt, and I'm afraid I'll get booted out of the group. It's taken me so long to meet people I connect with here, and this is what happens? How do I make Eric back off and keep these friends? Help. There's an update. First, I should mention that while I met Eric 2 years ago in this new city, he is not a model, but he does work in the industry. I'm trying really hard not to be obvious because everyone involved uses Reddit. We worked on one of my shoots together, and the owner of the video production company later randomly called me and asked if he could take noodle photos of me. Naturally, I wouldn't be able to tell a soul, including his wife, because this was a secret hobby of his. I told that guy my answer was a hard no and never heard from him again. I sat on that disturbing situation for a while, then one day told Eric. His response was an underwhelming, everybody has their issues. So I followed up with him. I just think you should know, in case you're introducing models to him for networking purposes, you know what he's capable of. Eric responded with a flat thanks. Eric didn't know the production company owner. They met on the set of my shoot. So I don't know, we aren't friends from way back, but I expected some sort of loyalty, at least in his response. I wasn't expecting him to say, I'll never work with the guy, but he couldn't have cared less. Eric continued to make comments about setting me up with his friend, to which I continued to make clear I was uninterested. Then finally, we all got together for brunch. At one point, Eric and I were left at the table alone, and I said, all right, let's talk. I wanted to schedule a shoot a couple of months out that he would be involved in. He immediately assumed I wanted to chastise him about continually suggesting I date his friend. I said, no, that's not what I was intending to discuss, but to reiterate, your friend is a great person and I'm no way interested. That was the last time he brought it up. So I felt he had the ability to be reasonable if pressed, but certainly pushed boundaries. One night we were playing card games and I started to notice that he seemed annoyed with everyone all the time. He seemed incapable of being challenged, even in the slightest ways. Often pouting. He'd get up, throw his head back, and leave the table, etc. His wife was constantly apologizing to him for things that didn't seem like offenses. At one point, he got up, left the table, and she said sorry to him, no kidding, 5 times in rapid succession. As she was apologizing to him for one of his imagined slights, her friend piped up and said, you don't need to apologize. And now the Category 5 crap storm. She had been friends with this guy for longer than she knew her husband, so that was my signal something was up. I didn't know them to comment on their relationship. They just got married, so they could literally be driving each other up a wall. However, the friend's response let me know that perhaps this wasn't first-year marriage problems. This was after another outing where he was flat out being mean to her. When she walked away, he said she was having an anxiety fit. Didn't seem that way to me. Anyone would be frazzled by their significant other being a knucklehead to them in public. I noticed that aside from the one friend of hers piping up for her, his other friends just sort of sat there quietly. If you haven't noticed, I don't easily develop opinions about things. Being a model means that people perceive you as and treat you as an idiot constantly. I've endured my fair share of false perceptions, so I try to feel people out until they hang themselves. Fast forward to the 4th of July. We're up on the rooftop and the sun was beaming. I was wearing a shirt dress with a sports bra and running shorts underneath. I pulled down the top of my dress and tied it around my waist. So imagine I'm sitting in a sports bra with a bunch of clothes tied around my waist. At some point, we started discussing Marvel Comics, a mutual interest of ours. I commented on how I was tired of the franchise not developing Storm and Rogue's storylines. He then awkwardly chimed in that if women wanted to be perceived differently, they needed to change the way people saw them and manage the T and A. It was the most random, irrelevant, and ridiculous thing I'd ever heard. Everyone else just got quiet and looked at him. I challenged him. I told him that Wolverine runs around entire movies with no shirt on at all, so what was his point? He then made another bizarre comment of, everyone has to do their part. If I know a friend is a heavy drinker, I'm not going to put booze in front of him. I asked, so you're saying that men are addicted to women's bodies and as a result are helplessly incapable of controlling themselves and their own actions. So instead, the women is responsible for managing the oppression. He repeated, everybody has to do their part. It's not fair, but that's how it is. This went on before I realized it was idiotic and I was done with the conversation. His wife sat quietly. Everyone did. At that moment, I knew I would never be close friends with him. In my opinion, I felt he had revealed himself as a misogynist, and it made perfect sense that he felt he could set me up with his best friend, where I would be bringing the majority of the benefits to the table. As a side note, he is obsessed with being right and sounding intellectual. If you make a counter-argument, he will smirk, look down and to the left, as if you're the biggest idiot. I recently got into gaming as a way to manage the mental stress of growing my business. They all game as well. Recently, we were playing online, and Eric threw a fit while we were losing a game. I told him all the things he said we were doing wrong. He was doing himself as well. He got louder, and I got louder. I will not be spoken over by by some guy who I feel is loud and wrong all the time. Then he said, you're new to the group, so you don't know this, but I don't like being talked to that way. Oh dear, I have definitely noticed. Again, everyone got quiet. His best friend was also playing with us and said to him regarding the game, Eric, you seem to be the only one who feels this way. To which Eric responded, well, make me not feel this way.
Yes, because the world revolves around you, Eric.
I'll make you not feel this way. I'll make you not feel anything at all anymore.
Eric's best friend said, I don't know how to not make you not feel this way. Eric went into full pout mode and would not speak. Anyone familiar with gaming knows that if you get into a game against other people, you have to commit lest you get a deserter penalty. Well, Eric didn't commit on his end, and we all got a deserter penalty because he had to go use the restroom. He didn't bother saying a word in advance. He just left. When he came back, someone asked why we got a deserter penalty, and his best friend struggled to explain why because he was trying to avoid just saying what Eric did. My final realization was that this guy, over time, has conditioned his friends and family to walk on eggshells around him. I'd had enough. We all ignored his pouting and kept playing. So I'm back on the friendship market. I won't be proactively trying to hang out with them. Although I do find everyone around him wonderful, I suspect none of them would be friends with me anyways if he caused enough of a stir about it. Sorry, I'm exhausted while typing this, so please forgive me for not including each Redditor's name. Regarding meeting friends, the subreddit suggested meetup groups, which I've tried, but we'll give it another go. I had another person comment that they were surprised I was having trouble dating in tech. I can't explain it more beyond most of the men in this exact niche of the tech industry are much, much older and married. So this particular part of the industry isn't bustling with dating options for me. But by the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this if you hustle and bustle your way on over to Spotify or iHeartRadio or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. I had a Redditor comment that she too encountered many bad apples because of her looks as well. She had to learn that many ways that these men were asking her out seemed harmless or even romantic, but were quite the opposite. Her comment was so dead on for me that I copied it to my computer to look at every now and then as a reminder. I also want to reiterate that dating is not a priority for me right now. I truly am focused on building platonic friendships here so that I can find some balance. And to clarify, I work with Eric in the modeling industry. My soon-to-be full-time business is in tech and completely separate. It's just that someone asked why I couldn't find a date in that field, so I mentioned it. Sorry for the confusion. And that is the end of that story.
Well, that does make it difficult. If they're in the same industry, they might not have to cross paths. But if they're like working with the same people and stuff, then it's like even if she like uninvites him to things, she is still gonna have to see him. Gonna suck.
I think if you want to go the friend politic route, you just go, maybe start another group chat and be like, are we rocking with Eric?
Yeah.
Are we really rocking with Eric though? Like,
yeah, dude, it's so liberating when all of the friends are like, you're talking to your friends and you're like, yeah, like I didn't really like what so and so did, and they're like, yeah, I also didn't like what they, and you're like, you both not like this person.
Yeah, that's the end.
That is the end of that story.
And silly old Eric.
My girlfriend blabbed about all our personal spicy details to my sister.
Ew.
Gross. This all started last Friday night. I had to hold myself back from singing the song. One of my girlfriend's closest friends had just come home from a trip abroad, so they were all going out to celebrate. Originally, they were planning a party or something, but then they decided to go out to a restaurant together and then go back to one of the friends' house and watch movies or whatever crap they do. I don't know. By the way, this comes from James J95, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, basically, it was meant to be a girls' night out, and there was 12 of them, I think. My older sister, who was a close friend of my girlfriend, and part of her inner circle friendship group was going along with them. It sounded like they were going to have fun, and I wished them the best. Well, since my girlfriend was going and my sister was going, my girlfriend was at my house beforehand, and my sister drove her to the restaurant where they were all meeting up. My sister was going to drop her off at her home afterwards and then come back to our home. We both live with our parents. At least, that was the plan.
Oh.
They headed off around 6 p.m. and I wasn't really expecting sis back until like 12 p.m. or 1 a.m. or something, if she didn't end up sleeping over there. Instead, she came back on her own at around 9:30 to 10, and she seemed really angry.
Yep.
And in a horrible mood.
I'm beginning to see you.
We asked her what happened. She said she was just really tired and not in the mood. I asked her if she had dropped my girlfriend off at her place. She said, no, she can take a taxi.
Oh.
It was really weird because she seemed visibly angry. And I know my sister. She's not the sort of person to easily get angry. She was like even slamming doors and crap. The next day, she was in a bit of a better mood, but still kind of angry. I prodded and asked what the matter was. She refused to talk about it. She said it was nothing. She had just been a bit tired the night before, maybe feeling unwell. Next day on Sunday, she opened up. She said, look, something happened the other day when I was out with your girlfriend and her friends. I said, aha, I knew it.
Aha.
She said, you won't like what you're going to hear, but you need to hear it anyway. My mind was like, oh, crap. Is she cheating?
That's
what
what
my
I thought
mind
we were.
was.
Yeah, I thought that's where we were headed. Maybe not.
I guess not. That was the first thought that came to my head. She proceeded to tell me about the entire night, how they had gone to the restaurant, all had plenty of fun, gone back home. Apparently they started watching a movie but didn't like it, so they didn't finish it. And they couldn't decide on what other movie to watch, so they started drinking and gossiping. Like, started gossiping about past and current boyfriends, relationships, spicy sleep. Sis said, your girlfriend maybe was wasted a bit too much and started revealing too much information about you. Stuff she shouldn't have.
Oh.
I said, what sort of stuff? She said, you don't want to know.
Right.
I said, you can't just start telling me that and then cut off without telling me what she said. What did she say? Sister said, I really didn't want to talk about this, but you want to know. And you probably have a right to. And she proceeded to tell me the stuff that my semi-wasted girlfriend had said about me. Apparently, she was making jokes about how when we first started dating, I was a virgin and had no knowledge or experience of spicy sleep, and she was mocking my inexperience and lame attempts. My girlfriend also apparently made fun of the shape of my wiener. It has a weird thing where it bends to the side. I've never really felt self-conscious about it because I thought it was the sort of thing that most girls wouldn't care about, and my girlfriend never mentioned it. But now I feel incredibly self-conscious, and apparently I finish too quickly and make weird sounds when I do. Why is she telling not only her friends this information, but also your sister? I was like, what the F? Why was she even talking about this? How wasted was she? Apparently not even that wasted. Like she'd had a few drinks, but not that many.
Ooh.
I told my sister, why did you have to tell me all this? I wish you hadn't. Now I just feel hurt. She said, I felt you have a right to know your girlfriend is saying this stuff. I just couldn't stand being in the same room as her when she was saying it all. That is why I was so angry and left early. She seemed to feel better at having gotten that off her chest, but I couldn't understand why she was so angry about it. My girlfriend had been saying all that stuff about me and revealing all those private details about me. And sure, I was hurt by it, but I had no idea why she had gotten so angry from all of it. It made no sense. Someone explain this. Empathy? Your sister cares about you?
Uh-huh.
She's like, I don't understand. She's upset on my behalf? What are emotions?
It's like you have love, but for other people.
I feel hurt, honestly. Kind of dismayed. Like I feel like all this stuff my girlfriend never brought up with me, she just jokes about in front of other people? Is it right for me to be upset about this? Is it right for me to be hurt, or am I overreacting? Was it fair for her to talk about that sort of stuff in front of other girls, even if they were all gossiping? Should I bring this up with her and tell her that it really hurts me? What if she tells me to just get over it, or should I just forget about it and move on? Because it's no big deal, even though I feel it's a big deal to me. Am I being too sensitive? But there's an update. It's been a really eventful week. It's had its ups and downs, a bit chaotic at times, but now things have settled. I finally have time to write this update in full. Some of you were really supportive in the last one. Some of you a bit less so, but that's okay. I appreciate all your advice. After I found out from my sister what my girlfriend had said, I was feeling pretty down. Rightfully so. I felt quite a blow to my perception of myself. Like all this time, my girlfriend had held me in a lower esteem than I thought she had. Did she look down at me because I was a virgin? Did she really think I was that bad when we were together in bed? That she thought it was worth making fun of me to her friends? Or is that just something all girls do? I hope not. It is not something that all girls do. I was feeling pretty self-conscious about my wiener as well. I never thought it was abnormal. I just thought it was a feature of it. I didn't know it's something a girl would ever be disturbed by. I didn't even know how abnormal it was. I haven't seen that many. Embarrassing to say, but I looked up a few pictures online of whether there was anything wrong with me or if it's any abnormal medical condition. I eventually realized I was overreacting about the whole thing, but still my self-esteem did take a momentary blow. I realized I had to confront my girlfriend about it, which, yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
The more I just thought about it, the more intensely I scrutinized myself and scrutinized my actions and behavior, the more I began to doubt my own opinion of myself. Was I overreacting? Maybe, probably, but I had opened up myself to my girlfriend in a way I'd done to nobody else before. I had trusted her by letting her be the first person I had ever slept with. I felt hurt and betrayed that she'd mouth off about my initial lack of spicy-related capabilities to her friends. I mean, everyone sucks at spicy sleep at first, right? Yeah. Surely it's not just me. It's not just you, OP.
No.
And even if I did, she never mentioned it. I'd rather be able to improve than just remain a joke for her to mock with her friends. I obviously care for her very much. I wish she'd open up about these things to me, not others. I was feeling really depressed and doubtful of myself, needless to say. My first instinct was to wrongfully shoot the messenger. I started pestering my sister with questions about exactly what my girlfriend had said. She didn't want to tell me, but I told her I needed to know exactly what it was because I was planning to confront her about it. My sister was uncomfortable with the whole thing, but I pressed, and she repeated everything she had previously told me about what my girlfriend had said. I asked my sister if it was okay with her if, when confronting my girlfriend about it, I told my girlfriend that she was the one who had told me. My sister sighed and relented, figuring that the girlfriend would probably assume as much anyway. I asked her, "Are you sure it's right for me to confront her about this?" Sister said, "Yes, if you feel that is what you need to do, but promise you won't stay with her just because she's your first or you feel obligated to. I've seen you hurt all day because of what she said, and I don't think she deserves you back." And then I started lashing out at my sister. I got quite angry. I got mad at her for telling me, saying I would have been better off if she hadn't told me. My sister said sorry at first and left it at that. I kept going at it, pestering her about it and blaming it on her. She just stayed silent and visibly frustrated, eventually storming upstairs to her bedroom.
Dang.
I followed her up and kept pestering about it. Why did you have to tell me? Why did you even think I needed to know something like that? I definitely pushed too far. She opened the door and shouted back at me something along the lines of, "Oh, I don't know, maybe because I love you? Did you consider that? You effing idiot. F me for trying to look out for you when she clearly has no respect for you, but no, go run into her. She's exactly what you deserve." Honestly, you deserve to hear that. She called me an effing idiot numerous times and slammed the door on my face. I tried to knock on the door and open it, but she had locked the door and was playing really loud music from within. She didn't come out of her bedroom the rest of the day, and I was feeling really bad. I mean, you should. I felt guilty and atrocious for lashing out at her like that. I know I was 100% wrong. I know you're going to slice me up in the comment section for that, and go ahead. I deserve it. I was an idiot and a terrible person for attacking the one person who had my back in all of this. I wasn't thinking straight, and I'd clearly hurt the person closest to me. I decided I had to confront my girlfriend about this. I called her the next day. She seemed in a good mood, happy to hear me. She said I hadn't called in a while and she'd been waiting for me to call. We met up, went for lunch, and I kept waiting for the right time to bring it up. But I couldn't. She asked if she could stay at my place for the afternoon before heading back home. I said sure. Apparently her parents were having some people over that afternoon and she didn't want to be around. We were sitting at home and I decided to finally bring up the thing. My sister was upstairs in her bedroom listening to music quite loudly, and I figured she wouldn't come down or anything. I said to my girlfriend, "Look, I don't know how to bring this up, but there's something that's really been bothering me. Some stuff that you apparently said about me." I proceeded to tell her about the stuff she'd apparently said to her friends. Her response was, "That's it? I could tell something's been bothering you. Is that really it?" She then proceeded to dismiss it, saying she couldn't believe I was worked up about that. I told her that she knows I care deeply about what she has to say about me, and I was really hurt by all the stuff she said, and I think an apology is in order. She said, "Fine, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that." She said she wouldn't do it again, and she didn't know that it would affect me so much. But then she started brushing it off again, saying it was a silly thing to be upset about, that girls talk about that sort of stuff with each other and tease their boyfriends behind their backs all the time.
Dude.
It's just being playful. No, they don't.
She does not get it.
No, they don't.
No.
No, they don't. I told her that it was hurtful to me. She did a sarcastic "aw" face and seemed to be laughing at the whole thing.
So annoying.
Then she asked me how I even knew about it anyway. I said, well, sometimes when you say stuff about someone in front of other people, it can likely get back to them. Her instant response was, it was my sister's name, wasn't it? I said, well, maybe you should have thought about that before talking about someone in front of their sister. Yeah, you dummy.
Literally.
Like, why would she not tell him? She said, I knew it, that witch. I hate having her around. She's always has to act like she's so moral and better than everyone. She is. She is better than you for sure.
Oh,
I told her, hey, that's my sister. Don't talk about her that way. She proceeded to go on complaining about my sister, twisting the whole situation to blame it on her, saying that none of this would have happened and I would have never found out about it if my sister hadn't told me or if you hadn't said it. I told her my sister was just looking out for me and she shouldn't hold any blame. She said, do you really believe that? Your sister always tries to pretend she's so moral, but she loves to create drama. She enjoys stirring the pot. Why else do you think she told you she's trying to gaslight you? I told her that's not true. My sister just cared about my feelings. She should stop blaming her. Girlfriend's response, if she cared about your feelings, she wouldn't have told you. This manipulative person.
Dude. So frustrating.
Oh my goodness.
It's like talking to a gaslighting wall.
Truly. She's just, and it's like playing tennis with a gaslighting wall.
Yes.
Because it just bounces back at you and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
You're like, can you just not be terrible? She's like, no.
Then the girlfriend started asking if my sister was around at home. I said she was upstairs in her
here we
room,
go.
but now was probably not a good time to bring this up with her.
Oh, God.
So my girlfriend and I stayed in the living room. Eventually, my sister came downstairs. While she was coming downstairs, she was calling my name, saying there was something important she needed to talk to me about. Then she saw me and my girlfriend were sitting together. She said, oh, I didn't know you were here. There was an extremely cold silence between them. There was a bit of chit-chat, but it was very awkward. Then my girlfriend opened up. What do you think gives you the right to interfere in the relationship between me and my boyfriend? My sister was stunned. Oh, girl, I didn't know things were private between you and your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Seemed like you were pretty willing to talk about everything under the sun with your friends.
Get him, Sophia.
She just stared back and didn't answer. My girlfriend said, don't act like you don't know what you did. I know you always enjoy stirring the pot. She started telling her that she couldn't trust her as a friend and started accusing my sister of being a horrible friend and that she shouldn't even go to girls' night if she couldn't keep her mouth shut. I had to intervene. I said, that's enough. But she didn't stop. It broke out into an open argument between the two of them. I kept trying to calm them down. It was mostly just the girlfriend relentlessly attacking my sister. My sister's eyes swelled up with tears and she turned to me and said, why don't you stand up for me? She's an effing witch. Don't you hear what she's saying? Why are you even with her? At that point, the girlfriend said she couldn't take it anymore and had to leave. Before she left, I said I needed to speak with her. At that point, I broke up with her.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. I didn't really give a reason. I just said I felt things weren't working out and it's better for everyone if we end our relationship. Do you need a reason?
Dude.
You had like 50 in the last hour alone.
Yeah.
She was really hurt and didn't seem to understand why. The level of like just lack of self-awareness
Yes.
is insane.
My brain cells are dying just hearing about this experience.
Yeah.
Being physically in it?
Yeah. Whew.
Oh my God.
She's like, I don't understand. I just fought with your sister. I argued with your sister where I verbally attacked her for an hour. And you want to break up with me? Why?
I don't get it. Can you tell me?
I told her because of everything that had happened recently, we should stop seeing each other. Plus the enmity between her and my sister. I didn't think I could be with her after that. She was incredibly upset, but she seemed to understand. My girlfriend said, maybe we can still be friends? Why would I want to be friends with you?
No.
I said, maybe, and we'll see, but we just need some time apart now. We hugged and kissed one last time, said goodbye, and she went on her way. My sister had disappeared. I figured she was back in her bedroom. I went upstairs and she was just sitting on her bed, listening to music, staring at the ground. Oh.
Aww.
I sat beside her and tried to comfort her. I told her I'm sorry for everything. I told her I was sorry for lashing out at her earlier, for trying to blame things on her. I basically told her I was incredibly sorry for everything that had happened, and I was sorry for my girlfriend's behavior towards her just then. She said that my girlfriend was right, that she's an idiot who always sticks her nose in everything, trying to make things better, but she should have just kept her mouth shut.
No, don't listen to her. She's the worst ever.
I told her that she had done the right thing, that I knew she was just looking out for me like any brother or sister would. I told her I'd broken up with my girlfriend just minutes earlier. She said she thought I did the right thing. I said I was sorry she had to endure all of that and gave her a hug, asking if there was anything I could do to thank her. She told me she just wanted to see me smile more often.
My heart.
Your sister is such a good sister.
Right?
The next few days, she seemed kind of depressed and dreary, not leaving the house much. She tried to put on a brave face and smile when she could, but I knew something was up. On Friday afternoon, I noticed she was sitting at home eating chips and watching cartoons on TV in old, dirty clothes. It looked like she hadn't showered in a while, and her hair was dirty. I asked her what was up. She said nothing. I told her I thought she was going to go out again with her friends on Friday to a restaurant, i.e. a girls' night, like she had the previous week. She said not anymore. I said, why not? She responded that her friends had officially disinvited her. I mean, you don't want to be friends with people.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
don't. But
it's sad. It's sad to lose.
Yeah, I could see the initial. It's like that. It's what she needs, you know, for like to get away from those friends. But also just the blow on top of everything else. I could see.
Yeah,
like, oh, just
absolutely.
like the gut punch of it. You know,
Absolutely. My reaction was, that's horrible. How could friends do this? She said she didn't think they were her friends anymore. All of the girls she had gone with last week had stopped responding to her and were ignoring her. Some of them had deleted her on social media and were basically all giving her the cold shoulder. Apparently, they really hated the fact that she had ruined the gossip of their girls' night, and basically all the girls in that social group followed my girlfriend's lead. So when my girlfriend cut my sister out of her life, they followed suit and did the same. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that so-called friends would do such a thing to someone, just completely defriend them from their life over one incident. She just shrugged and didn't seem to care. I lamented over the fact that all of this had happened to her just because she chose to stick up for me and tell me the things my girlfriend had been saying about me. My sister just shrugged in response. I told her I'm sorry and I felt this was partially my fault. And I said I don't understand how she can still not regret having told me all of this. She said, why would I regret it? I don't care about them. You mean more to me. I'll find other friends after all. My heart! My heart! I told her that is an incredibly nice thing to say and hugged her. I sat down and asked her what she was watching, but she didn't seem very interested in it. She said she had a lot of fun with them last time, and she kind of felt sad that they were all having fun without her while she was stuck at home like a loser. Friday nights were sort of a thing for her and the girls when they'd regularly go out, so it was understandable she'd feel upset that she no longer had that, and she'd lost a bunch of friends. I asked her what restaurant they were going to. She told me they normally went to the same one each week. You better frickin'... Oh, okay, wait. Apparently it was a really fancy place. I said, screw it. She doesn't have to stay home. I'll take her to somewhere even better. That's what I wanted you to do, and you did it.
I'm going to go to the table right across.
Yeah.
It's like, wait.
Go to a Michelin star restaurant and post about it and say, me and my sis don't need anyone else. At first, she thought I was kidding, but I told her I was serious. And you know what I'm serious about, John?
What, Sophia?
The fact that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. We got dressed, and I drove us to this new place that I hadn't been to before. It was expensive as F. I spent over $200 on the two of us, but it was worth it, and we had a good time. I mean, you owed her at least that.
Yeah.
The food was excellent. At least she wasn't feeling so down afterwards. I still feel terrible over the way I initially handled it. I feel ashamed over my initial misdirected anger and how I was rude and careless. Honestly, I think I feel much better off after having broken up with a girlfriend. I was expecting I'd have a period right afterward where I felt down and regretful about it, but the more days that go by, the more sure I am that I made the right decision.
Thank God.
My husband got upset over my outfit. He accused me of seeking male attention.
What were you dressed like? Some sort of male attention seeker?
Well, my husband, 37 male, let's call him Mark, and I, 34 female, have been having a rough few years. We got married in the fall of 2019, and after being together for 5 years before then, and over the course of a few months after the pandemic. By the way, this comes from Imaginary Guide 8273. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So I had the misfortune of getting a pretty bad case of the vid near the beginning of the pandemic, was hospitalized for 2 weeks, which turned into the long vid. I wasn't completely disabled, but dealt with a lot of the typical symptoms, extreme fatigue, brain fog, reduced immune system, generally resulting in several bad infections. I didn't lose my job, but did have to take intermittent FMLA, which meant a lot of time without pay, and we racked up $20,000 in debt between the medical bills not covered by insurance and loss of some of my income. Although I tried to be mindful of my eating, I also gained 45 pounds thanks to being on antidepressants, several rounds of steroid medication, and not being able to exercise. Through all of this, Mark was incredibly loving and supportive. He never said a bad word about my weight, lack of energy, or inability to contribute financially at the same level as before. Finally, last summer, I started to feel a lot better, and most of the long vid symptoms subsided. I was able to return to work full time and had energy to work out again. In the past year, we have paid off all our debt and rebuilt our emergency fund, and I have lost 35 of the 45 pounds I gained. My doctor says this is a good place for me to end up. I was borderline underweight before and am now on the slimmer side of normal/healthy weight.
Good.
Freaking comeback. Let's go, OP.
Nice.
Mark and I hadn't been having many date nights since we got married between the pandemic, my illness, and then for the past year working to get our finances in order. However, to celebrate my birthday, we decided to have dinner at an upscale bistro and then go see the Barbie movie. He actually suggested the movie. This was last Saturday. My actual birthday wasn't for a few more days, but we wanted to go on the weekend. I was excited to dress up as most of my clothes had gotten baggy and drab during my illness and weight gain, but I was finally feeling comfortable in my own skin again. I decided to go full Barbie core. Pink sleeveless dress, faded at the top and then flared out, and pink kitten heels with a matching bag. That sounds like a fire fit. The money for the outfit came from a birthday check from my mom. She insisted that I spend it on something fun. When I put on the outfit, I felt really pretty for the first time in a long time. Unfortunately and surprisingly, Mark reacted badly to it. He said I looked slutty and attention-seeking and essentially accused me of trying to get attention of other men and that I should cover up more. I protested because, first of all, we were going to a restaurant, table for two, and a movie theater. When exactly was I going to be interacting socially with other men? Also, the outfit was quite dramatic and striking, but it wasn't revealing. Sleeveless dresses are pretty normal date night wear for a hot summer day, and it wasn't low cut. The neckline was at the collarbone and was on the longer side, calf length. But I didn't want to argue, so I put on a black knit cardigan over the dress. But it wasn't enough for Mark. Nope, still no dice for Mark. He said it was still attention seeking. At this point, I really wanted to get going and not to miss our reservation, so I gave up on the dress and changed into fitted jeans and a pastel pink tunic top. Not fitted. Nope. Mark still said I looked like I was trying to attract other men, so I threw on a hoodie over the top, but then he said I looked sloppy. I was really exasperated by this point and asked if he wanted to come to my closet to pick an outfit that was acceptable, and he started yelling that I was too stupid to even understand that I was disrespecting him and that I didn't know how to dress myself. This seems like a man who's trying to pick a fight.
Yeah, anytime you go to your partner and you say, you're too stupid to know that you're disrespecting me.
And you're like, just
you're
tell me
stupid,
what you
buddy.
want. Tell me what you want.
You're being dumb.
Then he said he was going for a drive and was going to go to the movie without me. The tickets were on his phone. He came home after midnight, said he didn't want to talk and that he's going to sleep in the guest room. He has barely spoken to me since. My actual birthday was a couple of days ago and he did not even acknowledge it. I begged him to please talk to me and tell me what was really going on, but he said he was still too angry. So, am I the a-hole for not trying to change my clothes yet again before our date for my birthday? I still don't know what he was really upset about and what sort of outfit would have been acceptable. And no, He's never once tried to make rules about what I could wear or commented at all on my clothes except to tell me that I look nice or that he likes certain colors on me. This really came out of nowhere as far as I can tell. And again, he selected the Barbie movie and planned the date, so it's not like I was strong-arming him into plans he didn't want. And there is an update. I did end up going to my mom's place for the weekend last weekend and had a nice girls' weekend with my mom and sister. We did see the movie on Saturday, got to wear my original planned outfit, yay, and then got brunch and had a fun salon outing on Sunday. Late afternoon, Sunday, I texted Mark, my husband, to say I was coming home in a couple of hours and that I hoped he would be ready to talk then. I would gladly hear him out regarding anything that had been upsetting him, but I really couldn't take the silent treatment anymore as it had been over a week by then. He just texted back, okay.
What?
A week?
Grown man giving you the silent treatment for a week is immediate grounds for not dating that person.
We did talk after I got home. And boy, it was a doozy.
Ooh, boy, howdy.
Oh, boy, howdy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. I love a good doozy. It turns out Mark has been building resentment for years since I first got sick with the vid nearly 3.5 years ago. Not so much in the first few months, but when it was clear my illness had turned into the long vid and an ongoing disability, he started to feel very put upon due to not being able to generate as much income, not being able to do my share of the housework and cooking, etc. He put up a good front because he knew it wouldn't be fair to take it out on me, especially when he could see I was doing my best to get better and do what I could on my better days. But ultimately, he got very burned out. And then after a year or so, he started seeking outlets, as in other women. He said at first it was just basically anonymous online spicy texting because the pandemic was still raging. But by early last year, he had formed an online emotional connection with someone in the area, whom he eventually met in person for a physical affair. Someone he is in love with now and still seeing.
Oh my God.
He said he's been trying to figure out what to do, especially as I've been getting better over the past year, lost most of the weight I gained, got back to fulfilling all my responsibilities at home and work, etc. But when I walked out in my Barbie core dress, expecting to have a romantic birthday date, he just couldn't do it. He couldn't go out and pretend to love me and be celebratory when he wanted to be with someone else. So he picked a fight when I couldn't win. And then, yes, when he walked out, he did take his affair partner to dinner and the movie instead. The thing is, I do understand him seeking some kind of outlet. I was sick for years.
Nah, dude, you're drinking his Kool-Aid.
And between physical ailments and brain fog, I wasn't able to participate consistently in the marriage on any level, not as an equal partner. We'd only been married a few months when I got sick, so it's not even like we had a lot of shared history to fall back on. I'm sure he must have felt exhausted, stressed, and lonely, especially as it wasn't certain I would be able to recover at all. I asked if he would consider marriage counseling. Oh, I mean, hey, I do think it's a good idea to get some kind of counseling, but I really feel like it's gonna be really hard to get back to a good relationship here. I don't know if it can get back.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if him taking out his affair partner for your birthday date, I don't know if you should come back from that. I think there's a level of self-respect you need to have to not let someone who did that to you back into your life as like a partner.
And recommitting to our marriage, but he said sadly that his heart had moved on. He did say he was so sorry that he never meant to fall in love with someone else. I was just trying to be less lonely and that I didn't deserve this, and I especially didn't deserve the way he treated me a couple of weeks ago. By the way, if you don't want to treat us like absolute crap, you should listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update. But yeah, I feel like you got to go towards divorce, but maybe gracefully exit divorce.
Dude. I mean, like, bottom line is it's like once infidelity happens and cheating happens, it's whoever got cheated on is completely up to them whether or not they want to stay in it. However, given everything I've seen and heard in this story,
I
would not recommend OP try to salvage this.
I would run.
Because it's not like once your partner's like, I'm in love with someone else.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
I don't think you can undo that.
I guess divorce it is. I don't expect it will be very dramatic. We've been talking a lot over the past week. No more silent treatment. to figure out how to divide stuff and try to make things cordial. In the end, I don't even think he is an a-hole. Maybe for the way he acted surrounding my birthday, but overall, I think he is just a human being who eventually broke down from stress and loneliness. I do wish him well, and I'm so grateful that at least I am healthy again for whatever life has next in store for me. And that is where that story ends. I do think OP is being as kind and understanding as possible, but I do also think maybe extend that kindness to yourself. Make sure you get the love and support that you need to move on from this.
I don't think that her grace is coming from the right.
It's not coming from the right place. Yeah,
it's coming from a place of where it's like, well, a lot of this is on me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give him a pass because I shouldn't have been sick. I was difficult to be a partner to.
She's feeling bad about the sickness. And I feel like that is not being totally fair to you.
My fiance will take my last name. It did not go well with his parents.
Ooh, so bad that he wanted to forget their name.
My fiance, male 21 Alex, and I, female 22, have been together for 6 years, getting married this year. Congratulations.
Congrats.
I never cared much about my last name, but after some recent family events, realized that I want to keep mine. Alex doesn't mind and chose to change his last name so we'd match.
Heck yeah.
By the way, this comes from Throw Away My Last Name. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit.
Heck yeah.
Upon finding out, Alex's parents, Lisa and Luke, yelled at him.
Oy.
Lisa cussed him out, so my parents let him stay with us for the last week of winter break. We were home on break from college and live a few miles apart. Lisa and Luke say Alex is destroying and disowning his family, publicly humiliating them, and say that I'm stripping him of his manhood.
Wow, OP really is
Doing
pretty
a lot.
powerful.
They told us we're unbiblical and that women should submit. Oh, wow, this is crazy language here. Crazy vocabulary. To them, it's political too. They said the queer community is the reason that we're susceptible to this. Transgender people are to blame, and America is in its downfall. This is just another sign.
Wow. Okay.
Alex has gotten plenty of texts from Lisa calling him hateful, cruel, and cold, asking how can he let her suffer. The meetings Alex had with his parents went poorly. They told him that they wanted to see him and not talk about the name, but then they did. One meeting involved both sets of parents, Lisa and Luke, talked 90% of the time before getting up and leaving. They're mad Alex stayed with us and said that even if we go with his name, they'd resent us and my family for supporting us. Oh my gosh. Lisa threatened to cut Alex off and says he won't get another penny. They had planned to contribute to our wedding, stating that there were no strings attached and they fund his college apartment. Lisa said that this is the worst thing to happen to her since losing her first baby. Oh my God.
Wow.
And that it's worse than if Alex had gotten me pregnant, unalived someone, wasted driving, or was attracted to the same gender. She's telling Alex that his grandparents will have to move to assisted living from heartbreak. And Luke keeps telling Alex that his choice is hurting people. Holy crap, man. Calm down.
Yeah.
Their main reasons seem to be that it is tradition and that they want the same last name carried on.
Well,
it's not an uncommon last name.
Certainly he doesn't want their last name.
Yeah.
I want to carry on that legacy.
I also learned that Lisa borderline tried to talk Alex out of proposing. Alex asked me to marry him anyway, and Lisa called my mom in the midst of the engagement excitement to share her disapproval. Great. They said that they get a say until Alex is married, and that's when they'll leave us be. Huh? What? Lisa and Luke keep texting Alex and my parents, but I have never gotten anything. They openly dislike me now, bad-mouthing me whenever I'm there or not. I've decided my relationship with Lisa and Luke is over. It was rocky before, as they tried to push their religion onto me numerous times. Alex is deciding how much more he can give. He hasn't taken a harsh tone or spoken rudely to his parents, but is tired. Now, his parents say if Alex won't move back home, their financial support ends. They say the family won't come to the wedding, and one of his siblings actually has left the wedding party. Obviously, I have decided to stay mostly away from Lisa and Luke now, but they are Alex's family. With the wedding still coming up, we're unsure how to move forward. Edit to add, Lisa and Luke's financial support is not necessary, and the wedding will proceed with or without it. Just thought it relevant to point out that the money that was offered, no strings attached, clearly does have strings. We know we are young and are still getting married after spending 6 years together. Postponing the wedding isn't something that we're willing to do. But we do have some comments. Commenter number 1 says, family, you're awful, evil people, and we're not coming. You, okay. OP responds to this, easier said than done, but this may need to be the route that we take. Commenter number 2 says, it sounds like he has really good reasons for not wanting to be associated with that last name any longer. Yes, it's not a traditional thing and people will look at him funny for it. They can just F right off. If you're happy and he's happy, that's all that matters. Commenter number 3 says, you shouldn't be getting married before you have achieved financial independence from your parents. This is just the first issue that will come from this. You're too young anyway. OP says, I appreciate the insight, but we don't need their financial support. Just thought it was worth mentioning that money offered without strings clearly does have strings. We have a solid plan in place financially, but came to this sub for the relationship aspect. Someone else responds, if you and your fiance don't need their financial support, why have you guys been taking it? I'm sure this isn't the first time that they've shown they're not good people. So you both have agreed to benefit from their finances despite the kind of people that they are. OP responds, it hasn't been a trade of money for control up until now. If your parents wanted to give you money, would you not take it if it was truly out of kindness? Alex surely isn't the only college student being put through by his parents.
Yeah.
Now,
silly comment.
Yeah, that is. Now that it is money for control, we're planning not to accept it anymore. And guess what? We've got an update.
Let's freaking jump in.
Alex and I got married last month, and everything was absolutely beautiful since my original post. After more months of emotional and verbal abuse, Alex made the difficult decision that his parents were no longer welcome at our wedding. He explained that he couldn't trust them to respect his boundaries, respect us at all, or respect what the event was about. As expected, they freaked out, asking if he was trapped and needed help, saying everything had become about me, OP, and telling him that he'd been isolated from everyone that he loves. We're not sure what story they told Alex's extended family. Alex reached out to everyone to explain what had been going on, but every response that he received was more disgust towards his name choice, refusal of wedding invitations, and saying that he needed to apologize and grovel and fix the family. Oh my gosh. Most of Lisa's family were the ones talking the most about how dishonorable he was and how he was breaking apart the family. Interesting, seeing none of them share Lisa and Luke's last name. Luke's family does. Luckily, only one invitation was returned with nasty notes inside, but the rest of the digital responses took Lisa and Luke's side, berating Alex for doing this near the anniversary of the passing of Lisa's first child, and called him cruel and hateful. Oh my gosh, this is so not the same at all. This is just so insane.
You might need to go very limited to no contact with these people.
Sorry about that.
Boy.
For context, Lisa's first child passed away a few days after birth, over 25 years ago. Alex says there has never been any remembrance that he knows of, and they do nothing on the anniversary. He doesn't even know the date of the anniversary. Lisa and Luke explained what happened once when he was young and never mentioned anything again. We're unsure why it's all coming back up now after presenting.
Because they're trying to guilt him.
Yeah, exactly. After presenting as generally unimportant his whole life. Apparently, this drama being 4 months from the anniversary was disrespectful. 4 months? A third of the year away from the anniversary?
Like, it was too soon. I'm sorry, what? 4 months is not soon.
Oh my gosh. His sister Alice also went off the rails. After checking in to see how Alex was doing, Alice got angry that he wanted to discuss things over text instead of on the phone. They're just grasping at straws. Things to be mad about.
Mad at anything.
Yeah. It became obvious that she wanted him on the phone to berate him because she ranted about how he was steamrolling their parents and wasn't really an adult because he wasn't married yet.
He's about to get married. He's about to get married. And also that's silly. That's silly.
That's silly.
To be clear, but it's also funny because like they're actively trying to stop him. Weird.
Yeah. I know, because the parents mentioned that earlier. Like, we can't tell him what to do unless he's, or we can tell him what to do until he gets married.
So strange.
These
so
are
strange.
crazy people. She said that she had encouraged Lisa and Luke to cut him off long ago, and that I, OP, wasn't acting like family since I stopped letting her follow my Instagram account. This was after she had dropped out as a bridesmaid and made it clear she didn't support our marriage. I decided not everyone gets full access to my life.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. As his only sibling, it was devastating for Alex to watch Alice spiral into fully taking their parents' side after initially leading him to believe that she had his back and being supportive. After saying not to expect her and Alex's brother-in-law at the wedding, there's been no further contact since Alice refuses to speak to him unless he'll talk on the phone. At this point, he won't do any phone calls as we'd rather have record of everything that goes down. Many people tried to talk to Lisa and Luke, my own parents, mutual friends, etc., to encourage them to choose the relationship and explain the damage that they were causing wasn't worth the loss that they'd endure. It seemed to have no effect. Alex was quick to become no longer financially dependent on his parents. We've changed his phone plan, reclaimed all of his bills from Lisa and Luke, fully moved him out, and finished college. We're not sure if they attended graduation. They texted Alex the day before to say that they'd be there, but then turned off their location services. Graduation day was stressful and nerve-wracking, with Alex not knowing if they'd make a scene or corner him. He left as soon as he walked across the stage and made it to his car with no interactions. Since then, as most Redditors suggested, we've been nearly no contact with Lisa and Luke. We spent the first 6 weeks of summer finishing wedding details, and our day last month was gorgeous. Alex received no communication between graduation and the wedding and has no plans to continue the relationship without an apology. Lisa and Luke did not show up to the wedding or say anything the day of. The only recent change is Lisa unfollowing and unfriending both of us and my family on all social media. And by the way, you can follow us on all social media. Just search OK Storytime, but you can especially do it on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
For me, my in-law relationships are basically over, apology or not. Learning they'd never supported our engagement, ignoring my existence, and hating me because of my political and religious beliefs is enough for me not to keep contact. Good. Thank you, Redditors, for your kind help and good wishes. Our day was truly perfect and straight out of a fairy tale. And we're looking forward to the next chapter of our lives with hopefully less drama. And that is that.
My girlfriend keeps giving me selfish gifts, so I got rid of them.
Maybe you should keep them.
What is a selfish gift?
I don't know.
March 22, 2023. Throwaway. So, me, 28 male, and my girlfriend, 30 female, have been together for 8 years, and we've been living together for 4. Girlfriend has always been the artsy type, and always has some personal project going, but she has the tendency to get lost in her own world. By the way, this comes from user SaltyPension300, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, we celebrated my birthday last weekend, and she ended up getting me a pencil lengthener. Pencil lengthener?
What's a pencil lengthener?
Like a pencil sharpener?
What's a pencil lengthener? Does it add back some shaving?
It just stretches out the pencil?
Is it for a pencil or for something else?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. I don't use pencils, and the lengthener in question didn't even fit your typical number 2 pencil. It was purely for colored pencils, and I don't color. When she asked me if I liked it, I just quietly walked outside our home and tossed it in the trash.
What? You're obviously the a-hole.
You are on one, sir.
What?
She was understandably upset and called me an a-hole for doing that, claiming that I could have at least tried it.
Oh my gosh.
Which is even, no, beyond that, it's...
You could return it.
You just don't go silently throw it in the trash outside.
You say, hey, like, I'm not going to use this. Like, why don't we return it?
You go, what is this?
That's an insane move.
You're like, isn't a colored pencil sharpener a thing for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. She has been doing things like this ever since we started living together. She's been gifting me things that she likes and ultimately ends up using them. For example, last year she got a packet of Sailor Moon stickers. I don't watch Sailor Moon, and she ended up using them all. Okay,
so she's giving you gifts
Sailor
to give
Moon's
to
sick,
yourself,
though.
but she feels like she can't buy her own things because then it's like, oh, you know, I'm wasting money because I'm buying on myself, and so she's getting around this loophole.
When did that come up?
What do you mean? I'm inferencing.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
inferencing. Ever heard of it?
If she feels like she can't buy herself stuff, then that does make sense. But it's also
I feel like in her mind she's like, I can't buy things for myself because that's wasteful. So I'm gonna buy things for my man, and then if he doesn't like them, then I get them.
Just like don't throw them directly in the trash.
Have a conversation. That's a conversation.
That's a pencil length.
Oh.
Whoa.
So literally a thing just for people using small pencils like
but that's
artists.
Genius. Wait, that's genius though.
Yeah, but that's like getting somebody who
for artists. It's like for sketch artists and like stuff like that.
But that's so cool. I'm just saying I understand that it's for like artists, but like that's pretty sick.
Cool.
I don't know.
But again, OP is not an artist.
Yeah.
It's like if you got a gift for someone and you're like, I got you a DJ turntable, and they're like,
dude, I would love that.
Don't even like
Dude, I would love that.
I'm like a bike rider guy. I
have no idea how to do it. Love to learn.
And you go, oh, that's crazy because I'm a DJ, so I'll just take the
it.
turntables.
Yoink.
She also gifted me a jewelry box one time. Now, I don't wear jewelry, so guess who's been using it all this time? First world problems at its finest. Well, at least you recognize that. So it's been a few days, and she's still upset and has even got both of our parents to berate me for trashing the gift. She even admitted she knew I would hate it and was planning on using it after I calmed down in a few days, a detail that she did share with others, but I'm still getting name called. Am I really the a-hole? Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, you are the a-hole, but like you just have to have a conversation with her and say, hey, it's okay if you want to buy yourself these things, but stop saying that they're for me because they're not.
Yeah, I would
maybe know they're not.
Just say stop buying me gifts.
Like, yeah, don't buy me gifts. They're not for me.
Yeah.
You know I don't like this stuff. You know that you do, and that's okay.
If you want something, get it. And if you do want to buy me a gift, let's just go together because it seems like every time you buy me a gift, you forget you're buying something for me.
Yeah. Like have that conversation because what she's doing is annoying, but like the reaction to it rather than having a conversation.
It's even worse. You walking outside and throwing it in the trash like right after she gave it to you is like so viciously disrespectful that there's no coming back. You were the a-hole in that situation.
Absolutely.
There's an edit. Nearly every comment says, we need to talk about this. Yeah. The thing is, we already have, and more than once. She admitted she does this because she wants something, but decides to gift it to me to say, I tried. I asked if I gave her a wish list. Would that help? And she said that she would never look at it. And, well, she didn't when I made and sent one to her. So why did you do that? She said no. But why is she saying no?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Everyone sucks here.
This is crazy.
Everyone sucks here.
Is she buying this stuff with your money or her money?
Yeah.
What's going on? Okay. She, on the other hand, does have a wish list, which I do get her stuff from, and some of that stuff is actually expensive.
It seems like she's just very selfish in general.
So she understands how wish lists work.
Yeah.
For her.
Yeah.
But not for you.
Well, she doesn't care about actually. And my question is, does she also do this on your birthday and on your, on holidays too? Because very not okay if she's doing it then as well.
If we're look, everyone should walk away from this.
Yeah.
All right. If you're already at the point in the relationship, she gives you something and you walk out and trash it.
Yeah.
Without saying a word, it's probably over.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, you need to have a conversation, but
the static electricity I feel in my gut thinking about pulling that on someone I was dating.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like obviously she's not behaving well, but to pull that on some of your dating is it's not healthy.
Yeah.
Clearly your relationship is, not in a good place if this is the reaction that you're taking.
Oof. Well, we have some relevant comments here. Let's see what the nice people on the internet have to say. Commenter, everyone sucks here.
Agreed.
Walking out and trashing it like a drama queen makes you an a-hole. She's also a butt for giving you stuff she knows you won't use. You're meant to talk about your feelings and about your expectations, not act like you acted here. OP, and I bet you $1 million OP's going to bring up the fact that, well, I did try to talk about it before, which does not give you an excuse to act that way, though.
Nope, not at all.
OP says, I wouldn't say I'm a drama queen, Okay, buddy.
Can't say I'm a drama queen.
I'm more like a drama king.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't yell or scream or anything. I just had a disappointed look on my face, and she just pieced together what I had done. I literally didn't say anything during the ordeal.
That's dramatic. That's like definition dramatic.
Quite possibly the most dramatic thing you could have done.
Yeah, like just silently walking towards the trash can. That's dramatic.
Jeez Louise. Commenter, everyone sucks here, but you should have directly talked to her about this way beforehand if it's something you say she does constantly. OP says, actually, I have. We've had many talks about this. She does this on purpose because she wants a certain something and decides to gift it to me so she can say that she tried. I offered to give her a wish list, but she literally said she would never look at it, and she did indeed not look at it.
Then if it is not working, break up with her.
Or if it's like, if this is like the one part of your relationship that's bad and everything else is good, just stop giving each other gifts.
Yeah, say
Just
like, hey,
saying,
don't give me gifts anymore.
It's not working.
Yeah.
If you
I
want,
don't know. There are avenues that you can take here. If you have tried communicating and it's not working, this is not the avenue that you took is the bad one.
Yeah, I don't know. Stop giving gifts. Everyone sucks here. I have to ask, do you ever get her gifts?
Yeah,
OP
we already know
says,
that
yes,
she
I do.
does.
Actually, I get her the best gifts on earth. I actually go over the top with her gifts. If they actually are saying that. Okay.
Yeah.
She wanted a Nintendo Switch. I got her a Switch, and she legit played it until she got carpal tunnel. She still uses the cast once in a while. Okay. Commenter, do you tell her about anything you may like, or does she have to figure it out?
And we already know that he did.
I sent her a wish list. Okay. Verdict, not enough info, but leaning, not the a-hole.
I just like I disagree.
Yeah, fully.
I think everyone sucks here. I think that like a lot of people in the chat are saying like it's been 8 years of this, and I'm like, okay, then break up with her. Like if it's been 8 years of this and nothing's changed, then leave the relationship. You've had the conversations, you've tried to change it, you're upset, go leave.
I just wonder what the financial situations look like.
Yeah.
Are these gifts is it your money that she's spending?
Mm-hmm.
Like, does she? I don't know. This is just so weird.
Very weird.
This is just so weird, and it's so weird for the problem to have lasted 8 years. Stop it.
Yes.
Stop it.
SCZ says, eye for an eye mentality never works. I think it's safe to say this relationship is done. I think that's I mean, OP's trying to get back at her.
Just stop it. I don't even know. Hannah says, if it's just the gifts, I get not breaking up, but it is just so weird. Yeah, it's really weird. So just cut this weirdness out of your relationship and see if it works.
Like, you have to find a different solve because you being petty isn't healthy.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. Yeah, that's not.
Like, it's not a good relationship if you're being petty, regardless of whether or not you are allowed to, like, it's a reaction that deserves pettiness or something. It's like, if you're being petty, your relationship is unhealthy.
To be honest, the way this is reading, I don't even know if OP did it to be petty. And that's why they're asking, like, am I the a-hole? I think it's like,
I'm mostly referring, like,
so
some
much.
comments were saying, like, oh, that's petty or blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
OP's just like, I'm just going to go get this out of the way. I know I'm going to do this later.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get this out of the way. Or maybe it was like I know you just want to use this, so instead I'm going to throw it away so you can't use it.
Yeah. And Hannah, SCZ says maybe he sucks at giving gifts. We already know that he's given her a gift that she really likes because the Switch. So.
Yeah, just start buying her like pencil erasers and Tootsie Pops.
Tootsie Pops.
All right, there's an update, March 30th, 2023. Many commenters have said that my girlfriend is a self-absorbed person or has some kind of personality disorder. I probably should have mentioned this before, but she has ADHD, which she is medicated for. So she has always been pretty scatterbrained.
I don't think that's at all an excuse for any of her behavior, though.
Yeah.
You gave her a list of things that you wanted, and she was like, no, I'm not going to read that.
Yeah, that's like a different
that doesn't have
level.
anything to do with it.
However, it did get noticeably worse when we moved in together, such as blowing plans because she either completely forgot or forgot the part where we agreed to them, or completely forgetting to do any errands or chores because she's just so invested in something, usually an art project. There was one comment that resonated with me that said I must have been conditioned to accept this kind of behavior. That is accurate. My parents always instilled in me to be grateful and happy for getting anything at all because they got nothing when they were younger. If I got a sock as a gift, I was expected to dance like a happy prospector if this at all explains my tolerant/doormat behavior. And here's an update. Despite using a throwaway, my girlfriend still found the post. She was very miffed by the responses and tried to vent to her friends, but they weren't on her side. Because who would be?
Who would be on your side?
She then decided to show the post to her and my siblings to her and my siblings.
They're both of their siblings.
They wanted to know if it was true, and when confirmed, they all yelled at her and got our respective parents to calm down and stop talking about it. She came to me over the weekend, and after talking about it since then, we kind of worked over several things. She recognized that she really did screw up, and as an apology, she gave me this cool dragon diffuser I've been wanting for a while.
Dang.
And a box of all the stuff I was gifted, telling me I may do whatever I please with them. She's also open to not receiving gifts for the next couple of special occasions, which I will be doing. Folks, just stop it. Stop it.
I mean, it's frustrating that it took everyone around you in your life telling her that she's wrong for her to realize that she was wrong.
Right. No more gift giving. Get gifts together now.
Yeah.
Don't do it separately. No.
Also,
more.
how long is this going to last? Is she going to go back to it? Hopefully not.
If you guys keep giving gifts, that's the only way. Stop giving each other gifts. I'm okay. I'm here. I'm right there. So when it came down to her selfish gift giving, apparently what she meant by I tried was her forgetting about these occasions until the last minute and not wanting to admit it.
Ooh, but you still got gifts that you wanted.
Folks,
that doesn't make any sense. That's a terrible excuse.
There is no excuse for having been brought a gift list.
Yeah.
And a literal list of these are things you could get me.
But also, this is a terrible excuse because she still got something.
Right. There's no excuse here, which is why this is frustrating me so much. Just cut this, surgically remove this aspect of y'all's relationship from your lives.
Like she keeps saying,
no more gifts.
I forgot the date, blah, 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 blah. So totally could be true.
That's making me mad.
You say hey, I accidentally ordered this late. It's coming, but I got you what you wanted. It doesn't have to be on the day of.
The more words we're speaking about this, the more if I'm OP, I'm like, well, now I can't get over it. Because now you're telling me you just don't understand how gifts work, which is a lie.
Yeah.
It cannot be true.
Yeah.
So she hastily orders them off of Amazon from whatever shows up first on her homepage and just hopes I'll like them enough to not say anything negatively and uses them when I won't.
Wow.
That is, if that's actually where we're at.
Wow. I'm sorry. She admitted that.
Well, I mean, look.
She admitted to putting absolutely no thought or care into any of the gifts that she gives you.
There is a level of ADHD where you can become so inattentive and so not present in your day to day that could happen. No. That's also you're talking a level that would qualify you. You can't have a job. You can't you're essentially unable to take care of yourself or anyone.
It's not that I'm shocked that she's forgetting about these things and having to order things last minute. I am shocked that she goes on Amazon and just picks the first.
Right. It's you're right there. It takes 2 extra minutes.
2 extra minutes to find something that he likes.
So, which
He's
is why
already
I'm
given
calling
you a
her
wish
out
list.
as that's a lie. That is what I'm implying.
Yeah.
Saying either your ADHD is so bad you need permanent care, or you're lying.
But and my point is even if she has ADHD that bad, that wouldn't affect the buying process.
I mean, exactly.
She could have bought
2 more minutes. Just 2 more minutes, dude. 2 minutes.
She just buys the first thing that she sees.
You know what'd be great is if you had some kind of list of things you could look for.
Exactly. She does. A lot of people are saying sometimes I have ADHD and I have trouble buying. Same. I have trouble buying gifts for people too. But she has a list, and also these things can be late.
Okay, we got. It
doesn't have to be on time. Just get what he wants.
We got a little more context in the next sentence. She refused to look at my wish list because gifts should be a surprise. But when I brought up her list, she had no answer. Exactly.
She just
doesn't make it. The more she's talking, the more if they had just been all right, let's just never give each other gifts without talking about it and move on. And we never talk about this again. I think it works.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm I have to leave you off principle now because you said so much nonsense.
No, she's selfish and she's trying to justify it by saying, "Oh, gifts should be a surprise." Oh, I forgot about it because of my ADHD, and no, she put no effort in finding something that you want, even though she had a list of the things that you wanted.
It's not even the gifts anymore. It's the word vomit she has spewed is now going to make me leave. So she said she'll look at my wish list from now on. I don't think this is a deal breaker, but it does need to end. Well, most of you were right. There were other issues. We've agreed to therapy, both single and couples, which she will pay for. This may not be what you were expecting, but I think it's a good start. And there's another update about a month later.
Let's go right into it.
So me and my girlfriend of 8 years split up about 2 weeks ago.
Shocking.
Thank the Lord.
Whoa.
We were having issues and decided to go to therapy to work it out. After the very first session, I realized that I do not want to work on this relationship anymore. It was just too much trouble than it was worth. So I broke up with her. Lots of crying on her end, but she seemed to accept it. She's already moved out of our house and agreed that I may keep it since I have no family in our state. Things haven't exactly been well since then. Her parents, who have been divorced for a decade now, have turned a 180 and are begging me to take her back. Her dad even tried to bribe me to take her back. Well, I think maybe you can take that bribe and just not take her back. Right?
Yeah. They're like, oh, sorry, I tried.
You say, sorry, I thought this was a gift.
Yeah. But you want me to keep it.
I've refused and blocked them, but they still find ways to circumvent that. My own parents have also done a 180 and are now supportive, but I don't want to talk to them. As for me, well, I've been drinking a little bit more. People always say to work on yourself after a relationship, like going to the gym or getting a new hobby, but I'm just not feeling it. All I want to do now is get a little drinky poo in me.
You gotta
that's
cut that,
bad.
nip that in the bud immediately.
Yeah,
like this is leading into like depression territory. This is, rely on your support system. Go to therapy. Yeah.
Therapy.
You don't want to go down that path.
Coworkers and even my boss noticed my sluggish behavior, but they shrugged it off as me working too hard. My boss even offered some time off completely off the record. I'm not sure I should accept since I'm probably just going to drink it away. Yeah. Oh, God. Any advice on how to best move forward would be very appreciated. Hey, maybe find some help for that. Get some resources for not drinking.
And also, I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily the advice that, professionals would give, but I don't know. I also don't know if quitting your job would help because right now that gives you like a purpose. And
no, they're not saying to quit.
No, OP was saying take some time off. Like, I don't know if that would. That's what the boss said.
Yeah, the boss was like, do you want some time off? And OP literally said, I don't think I should.
No, I know what I'm saying. I agree. I don't think that you should take time off. Because you need something that takes you, pulls you out of your
We've got a third update.
Yeah.
Let's hope that it is an update where they stop drinking. Update number 3. I can't believe I'm still using this throwaway. But yeah. I left my home today seeing a bunch of packages at my doorstep, didn't have time to open them, so I tossed them inside and only opened them maybe an hour ago, and they were all stuff from my wish list. At first, I didn't know who sent them, but then I checked a personal email I don't normally use and realized it was all from my ex. And by the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and iHeartRadio and wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime.
Do it.
And then you've got the proverbial
sun in your hand.
I was going to try to use a different one.
There's nothing else.
But she took it. The email said, "Happy anniversary, OP." It says Google the translation of that actual word, and I don't want to say it because I don't know what it means. I'm guessing she bought these in an attempt to get me back. It won't work. I didn't break up with her because of a present. I broke up with her because our relationship was very one-sided and she was so selfish. But you know what? I'm keeping them. Now I can be selfish. Yeah, and it's like, again, it's like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
You think I'm going to come back because of the gifts? Like, how shallow?
You never in 8 years bought me, and now only because we broke up, you're buying me them?
It's like the definition of a transactional relationship.
Nope.
We have some comments here to finish it off. Maru says, "I've been following you since your Reddit post, and this is an amazing update. Also, I'd like to thank you as well. It's thanks to your post I finally realized that my ex was and is a selfish, disrespectful a-hole. He also did similar things to your ex. His birthday I saved up for months and researched the things he currently liked, needed, etc. I would scheme to hide and make it exciting for him. But come my birthday, he told me my gift hadn't arrived, and while we were having dinner, went to the nearby $5 shop and got me some random gift. I felt so guilty for not liking it, and I kept chanting, 'It's the thought that counts.'"
Yeah.
Whatever. OP replies, "Thank you for sharing. I'm sorry that your ex was a selfish a-hole. Eerily similarly, I started to pick up on my ex's selfishness when she gifted me a similar gift. She gave me a yellow Star Wars shirt, even though I'm not a fan of Star Wars, and yellow is her favorite color, not mine. I'm glad that you picked up on it and seemingly faster than I did with my former partner."
Yeah. No, best decision was leaving her and get therapy.
Continue to go to therapy and keep your drinking under control.
Yes. Very precarious.
Yeah, don't let that snowball for years.
Nope,
That's
nope.
not a thing you want to have to deal with.
No. But that's the end of this episode.
That is.
So, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you and see you tomorrow.